To imagine a world dominated by creatures so fierce that they reign as the ultimate apex predators. From colossal dinosaurs to menacing marine reptiles, our planet once hosted a variety of life that defies imagination, some even rivaling our most terrifying nightmares. Join us as we delve into some of the most terrifying prehistoric events in history. The world of dinosaurs was filled with incredible predators, each adapted to dominate their habitat. Among the most fearsome carnivorous dinosaurs was the Tyrannosaurus rex, often referred to simply as T-Rex. This massive creature stood taller than a basketball hoop and had powerful jaws, packed with sharp teeth designed for crushing bone. With its keen sense of smell and strong legs, T-Rex was not only a fearsome hunter, but also an efficient scavenger, making it a dominant force in its ecosystem. Another terrifying predator was the Velociraptor. While smaller than many might imagine, about the size of a large dog, its intelligence and agility made it a formidable hunter. Velociraptors were likely social animals hunting in packs, which allowed them to take down larger prey through coordinated efforts. Their sickle-like claws added to their deadly repertoire, giving them the edge in swift attacks. Then there was the Spinosaurus, which may have been even larger than T-Rex. Its long, crocodile-like snout was ideally suited for catching fish and other aquatic prey, making it unique among its carnivorous counterparts. With massive sail-like structures along its back, Spinosaurus stood out, but it was also a fearsome predator on land, capable of taking on sizable dinosaurs. Lastly, the Allosaurus deserves mention. This dinosaur was built for speed and had powerful forelimbs equipped with sharp claws. With a keen predatory instinct, Allosaurus likely hunted in packs, using teamwork to bring down larger prey. It was one of the top predators of its time, competing with other large carnivores for dominance. Each of these dinosaurs played a crucial role in their ecosystems, showcasing the varied and complex nature of life during the age of dinosaurs. Their adaptations helped them survive in a world filled with challenges, proving that being a predator was not just about size, but also about cunning, speed, and strategy. The bite force of Tyrannosaurus rex is a topic that fascinates many. When we think about the jaw of this massive dinosaur, we must first consider its size and strength. Tyrannosaurus rex had a skull that was both long and powerful, equipped with enormous teeth designed to crush bone. Research suggests that its bite force was incredibly powerful, potentially far exceeding 5 tons, which means it could apply a force greater than the weight of a small car. To compare this to modern predators, consider the bite of a great white shark or a lion. While both of these animals are formidable hunters in their own right, their bite forces do not come close to that of Tyrannosaurus rex. A great white shark can exert a force similar to a ton, sufficient to bite through tough marine flesh and bone. Meanwhile, a lion, known for its strong bite, can generate a fraction of that force. What is striking is that Tyrannosaurus rex's capabilities allowed it to consume prey with incredible efficiency, cracking through bone and tearing flesh, something that modern predators with less biting power might struggle to do. This unique combination of size, strength, and specialized teeth made Tyrannosaurus rex one of the most fearsome predators of its time, an ancient ruler of the land for which the modern world has yet to find a close comparison. Spinosaurus is often considered one of the largest predators to ever walk the earth, surpassing even the infamous Tyrannosaurus rex in length. This dinosaur lived during the late Cretaceous period and is known for its distinctive sail-like structure formed by elongated vertebrae extending from its back. While precise measurements can vary, it's believed that Spinosaurus could reach lengths greater than 50 feet, making it an impressive sight. Spinosaurus was unique not just in size but also in its hunting methods. Unlike many of its dinosaur relatives that primarily hunted on land, Spinosaurus is thought to have been semi-aquatic. Its elongated snout is reminiscent of modern crocodilians, suggesting a diet that included fish. Its conical teeth were not designed for tearing but for gripping slippery prey, making it efficient at snatching fish from water. Imagine a massive creature prowling the shallow waters of ancient rivers and lakes, using its powerful limbs to navigate through the aquatic environment. Its sail may have played roles in thermoregulation or communication, but it could also have given it a striking silhouette when partially submerged, perhaps even confusing potential prey. In addition to fish, There's evidence to suggest that Spinosaurus may have hunted other dinosaurs on land. Its strong forelimbs were equipped with claws sharp enough to capture and hold on to struggling prey. This adaptability in hunting techniques made Spinosaurus a formidable predator in its ecosystem, capable of exploiting a range of food sources in both land and water. Giganotosaurus was a massive predator that roamed the earth long before the famous Tyrannosaurus rex. While both dinosaurs were formidable hunters in their own right, several factors made Giganotosaurus potentially more dangerous. One of the key aspects is its size. Giganotosaurus could reach lengths similar to 2 school buses placed end to end, making it one of the largest terrestrial carnivores ever discovered. This impressive size allowed it to overpower large prey, which likely included giant herbivores of its time. Another significant factor is the structure of its body. Giganotosaurus had a longer and more powerful skull, designed for effectively grasping and crushing flesh. Its teeth were sharp and serrated, ideal for slicing through the tough hides of the dinosaurs it hunted. The combination of size, strength, and a powerful bite gave Giganotosaurus a considerable advantage in hunting. Moreover, Giganotosaurus is believed to have been very fast for its size. This speed would have been critical in chasing down prey, allowing it to strike swiftly and forcefully. While T-Rex had strong legs, Giganotosaurus's build suggests it could cover distances quickly, increasing its success as a predator. Finally, there is evidence to suggest that Giganotosaurus may have hunted in packs, similar to modern-day wolves. This social behavior could have made it an even more effective predator, coordinating attacks on large prey and overwhelming them through sheer numbers. In contrast, T-Rex was likely a solitary hunter, relying more on ambush tactics. Giganotosaurus's sheer size, powerful build, speed, and potential pack behavior combined to make it a highly efficient and dangerous predator, possibly even surpassing T-Rex in certain ways. Each dinosaur was adapted to its unique environment and prey, yet Giganotosaurus's characteristics give it a compelling edge in the ancient world of predators. Utahraptor stands out as one of the most formidable members of the raptor family for several reasons. First and foremost, its size alone makes it intimidating. Unlike many of its relatives, which were relatively small, Utahraptor was significantly larger, comparable in size to a modern-day wolf. This size would have given it a considerable advantage in both hunting and defense. Additionally, Utahraptor possessed sharp, elongated claws on its feet, which were designed for grasping and tearing into prey. These claws could reach impressive lengths, suggesting it was well adapted for a predatory lifestyle. It also featured powerful legs that allowed for swift movement and the ability to leap, enhancing its capability to catch fleeing prey or escape threats. Moreover, Utahraptor likely exhibited pack behavior, much like some modern predators do. This social hunting strategy would enable it to take down larger prey than it could alone. The idea of a group of these large, agile raptors working together creates an image of an efficient and terrifying predator, striking fear into the hearts of other dinosaurs. Its mix of size, strength, and potential social structure makes Utahraptor not just a fierce hunter, but a remarkable example of how diverse and complex prehistoric life was. The combination of these features paints a vivid picture of why this dinosaur was one of the most fearsome raptors of its time. The Allosaurus was a remarkable predator of the late Jurassic period, and its hunting techniques set it apart from many other dinosaurs. One unique aspect of its killing strategy involved its powerful jaws and sharp, serrated teeth. These teeth allowed Allosaurus to tear through flesh with ease. Unlike some carnivorous dinosaurs that may have relied more on crushing bones, Allosaurus was well adapted for slicing through the soft tissues of its prey, which included large herbivorous dinosaurs. Another distinctive feature of Allosaurus was its use of speed and agility. Despite its size, Allosaurus was likely quite fast compared to other dinosaurs of its time. This speed allowed it to chase down prey effectively, often attacking in quick bursts. It is believed that Allosaurus may have hunted in packs, coordinating efforts to take down larger prey. This social hunting aspect would have provided a clear advantage, allowing them to overwhelm and isolate their targets. Additionally, the Allosaurus had strong forelimbs equipped with 3 sharp claws that could have been used to grasp and hold on to struggling prey. This combination of speed, strong jaws for slicing, and forelimbs for holding made Allosaurus a formidable predator. Its hunting techniques were not just about brute force, they involved a calculated approach to capturing and consuming prey, showcasing the adaptability and intelligence of this ancient creature. Carcharodontosaurus was a formidable predator, known for its size and powerful build. It was one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs, reaching lengths comparable to a bus. Its sharp teeth resembled those of modern-day great white sharks, designed for slicing through tough flesh. This design allowed it to effectively tackle large prey. Although it would primarily hunt animals smaller than itself, Carcharodontosaurus may have occasionally attacked creatures that matched or even exceeded its size. This behavior, known as predation on larger prey, is not uncommon in the animal kingdom. Some modern predators, such as lions and crocodiles, exhibit similar tactics by taking down larger animals when opportunities arise, especially if they can catch them off guard or if they work cooperatively in groups. The hunting strategy would depend greatly on the specific context, environment, availability of food, and social structures within its species. While targeting larger prey posed significant risks, a well-placed ambush or a coordinated attack could make such endeavors possible. Thus, Carcharodontosaurus, with its impressive physical attributes, had the potential to challenge and overpower larger animals when circumstances favored such a daring hunt. Deinonychus, a dinosaur from the early Cretaceous period, is often depicted as a clever and cunning predator, hunting in groups to take down larger prey. Research suggests that these dinosaurs likely worked together much like modern-day pack hunters, such as wolves. By collaborating, they could strategize and overwhelm animals much bigger than themselves, increasing their chances of a successful hunt. Their hunting style might have involved surrounding their target, using speed and agility to wear it down. Imagine several Deinonychus coordinating their movements, flanking a larger herbivore, and using their sharp claws to grip and injure it. Their powerful leg muscles made them swift and nimble, allowing them to chase prey over various terrains. However, while Jurassic Park certainly brings an exciting, dramatized portrayal of these animals, our understanding of their behavior based on fossil evidence and comparisons to modern hunting animals is somewhat different. The film emphasizes their ferocity and pack tactics, often presenting these creatures as relentless hunters. In reality, while they were indeed formidable, the dynamics of their pack hunting likely involved more strategy, caution, and efficiency. Deinonychus might have been deadly in its own right, but it's essential to remember that the real dynamics of hunting in prehistoric times would have been complex. Factors such as the environment, social behavior, and the specific characteristics of each prey animal would have all played critical roles in their hunting success. The cinematic portrayal captures the imagination, but simplifies the profound challenges these dinosaurs faced in their ecosystems. Carnotaurus was a remarkable dinosaur primarily due to its unique physical features and hunting behavior. It lived during the late Cretaceous period in what is now South America, and its distinctive appearance set it apart from other carnivorous dinosaurs. The most striking element was its unusually short, puny arms, which were far less developed than those of its relatives. This oddity suggests that although it was a predator, it may have relied more on its speed and agility than on clawing or grasping prey. Another defining characteristic was its skull, which was adorned with prominent horns above its eyes. These horns not only gave Carnotaurus a fierce and intimidating look, but may have also played a role in mating displays or combat with others of its kind. The shape of the head, combined with sharp and powerful teeth, indicates that this dinosaur was well equipped for a carnivorous diet, likely preying on smaller dinosaurs and other creatures in its environment. Additionally, the body of Carnotaurus was built for speed. It had a lightweight yet robust structure, long legs, and a flexible tail, which together provided the ability to chase down fast-moving prey. This combination of features made Carnotaurus an effective hunter, potentially able to outrun many of its contemporaries. Overall, the strange proportions of its arms, the fierce horns, and its swift build created an image of a predator that was not only terrifying but also truly unique in the dinosaur kingdom. This compelling mix of characteristics showcases the diversity of evolutionary adaptations that occurred millions of years ago, making Carnotaurus a fascinating subject for paleontologists and dinosaur enthusiasts alike. Megalodon and Mosasaurus lived during different periods and inhabited different environments, so they did not coexist as direct rivals. Megalodon swam the oceans during the Cenozoic era, primarily around 16 million years ago to 2 million years ago. This massive shark could grow to lengths comparable to a bus, making it one of the largest predators to have ever lived. Its sheer size and powerful jaws were capable of crushing the bones of even the largest marine creatures, making it a formidable hunter. On the other hand, Mosasaurus thrived in the late Cretaceous period, about 70 million to 73 million years ago. This marine reptile was not a dinosaur, but a type of lizard adapted for life in the sea. Mosasaurus had a long body and many teeth suited for grasping slippery prey, and it could reach lengths similar to a school bus. It was agile and had a strong tail that allowed it to swim quickly through water. In terms of deadliness, both creatures were apex predators of their time. Megalodon likely hunted large marine mammals, like whales, making it one of the most dangerous and powerful predators in its ecosystem. Its hunting techniques involved stealth and brute force, allowing it to ambush and overpower its prey. Mosasaurus, on the other hand, had a diet that included fish, squid, and perhaps even other marine reptiles. Its speed and agility made it an effective hunter in the waters where it lived, allowing it to take down a variety of prey quickly and efficiently. While these two giants ruled their respective domains, understanding their uniqueness showcases the incredible diversity of marine life at different points in Earth's history. They were deadly in their own right, perfectly adapted to their environments, but due to their timelines, they had no opportunity to compete or interact. The Mosasaurus was a giant marine reptile that lived during the late Cretaceous period, while the great white shark is a modern apex predator. To understand their sizes, imagine a Mosasaurus stretching longer than a small school bus. Typically, this ancient creature could reach lengths of approximately 16 meters, or about 52 feet, making it significantly longer than an average great white shark. In contrast, great white sharks usually reach lengths up to around 6 meters, or about 20 feet, although some larger individuals have been reported. Picture the Mosasaurus gliding through the water, its massive body and powerful flippers allowing it to move efficiently across ocean depths, while the great white, with its sleek design and pointed snout, navigates its territory with agility and precision. While both are formidable in their own right, the Mosasaurus was a colossal presence in prehistoric seas, dwarfing the great white, showcasing the fascinating diversity of marine life across different eras. Kronosaurus was a true giant of the oceans during the time of the dinosaurs, and several features contribute to its reputation as a formidable predator. As a member of the pliosaur family, its body was stout and powerful, resembling a large crocodile but with a unique twist. It had a massive head with long, sharp teeth designed for gripping slippery prey. This adaptation made it an exceptional hunter in the marine environment. What stands out about Kronosaurus is its size. It stretched over a significant length, making it one of the largest marine reptiles of its time. Its size alone commanded respect in the oceans, where it had few natural predators. This immense bulk was balanced by a strong and streamlined shape, allowing it to move quickly through water, agile enough to catch prey like fish and other marine reptiles. Kronosaurus had strong, paddle-like limbs that functioned similarly to those of modern sea turtles or some seals. This design gave it the ability to swim powerfully and navigate the vastness of its aquatic habitat. Along with these limbs, its long neck enabled it to reach out and strike at prey efficiently, adding to its prowess as a hunter. Its dwelling in prehistoric seas alongside other prehistoric creatures only amplified its status as a sea monster. In a world filled with large fish and other marine reptiles, Kronosaurus stood at the top of the food chain. Its adaptations for predation, combined with its sheer size and strength, made it a terrifying presence in the waters millions of years ago, thereby earning its label as a prehistoric sea monster. Plesiosaurs were fascinating marine reptiles that roamed the oceans millions of years ago. Their unique bodies, characterized by long necks, small heads, and large, flipper-like limbs, made them remarkable hunters in their aquatic environment. To understand how they hunted, imagine a predator that can stealthily glide through the water, using its long neck to reach prey from a distance. Plesiosaurs often likely relied on the element of surprise. With their streamlined bodies, they could move swiftly, allowing them to approach schools of fish or other creatures without being detected. Their extended necks could strike like a whip, quickly capturing unsuspecting prey. This agile hunting strategy would have been effective in a world rich with fish and other marine animals. As for their bite, plesiosaurs had sharp teeth designed for grasping and tearing. While these teeth enabled them to hold on to slippery fish, their bite may not have been as powerful as that of other ancient predators like sharks. Instead of a crushing bite, their hunting success came from a combination of speed, agility, and the ability to seize prey with precision. So while they might have been capable of inflicting wounds, the true danger of a plesiosaur lay in its skillful hunting techniques rather than an overwhelming bite force. Liopleurodon is often portrayed as a colossal ocean predator, but the truth about its size and hunting prowess is more nuanced. When this marine reptile lived during the Jurassic period, it was certainly one of the larger predators in the ocean. However, the estimates of its size have sometimes been exaggerated. Fossil evidence suggests that Liopleurodon was likely around the length of a school bus, which is indeed impressive. It had a powerful body, long limbs that functioned like paddles, and a large head filled with sharp teeth, indicating it was well equipped for catching prey such as fish and other marine reptiles. Its physical features suggest it could have been an agile swimmer, capable of fast bursts of speed when hunting. But size alone doesn't dictate status at the top of the food chain. While Liopleurodon was formidable, it shared its habitat with other significant predators, like various species of large plesiosaurs and even giant fish. The ecosystem was highly competitive, with diverse marine life competing for similar resources. In many depictions, Liopleurodon is exaggerated to extraordinary lengths to emphasize its dominance, which can overshadow the reality of the delicate balance in ocean ecosystems at that time. So, while it was indeed a top predator, the full picture reveals that its actual size may have been less daunting than what popular culture sometimes suggests. Pterygotus was a colossal sea scorpion that roamed the ancient oceans hundreds of millions of years ago, long before dinosaurs existed. These impressive creatures were predators, primarily hunting smaller marine animals. Their diet likely included fish, mollusks, and other arthropods. With their powerful pincers and agile movements, they could swiftly capture their prey, showcasing an effective hunting strategy in their aquatic environment. Since Pterygotus lived during a time known as the Silurian and Devonian periods, it thrived in a world long before the age of dinosaurs began. The first dinosaurs appeared much later. Therefore, Pterygotus could never have posed a threat to dinosaurs, as the two never coexisted in time. The sea scorpion was a fascinating part of the Earth's prehistoric marine ecosystems, representing a distinct chapter in the history of life on our planet, while dinosaurs were part of a separate and later evolutionary tale. The helicoprion, a creature that roamed the oceans around 300 million years ago, had a striking way of catching its prey, thanks to its unique jaw structure and distinctive teeth. Imagine a circular saw, the kind you might find in a workshop, spinning rapidly to slice through material. Helicoprion's teeth were arranged in a spiral shape within its jaw, resembling such a saw. When it approached its prey, which likely included soft-bodied sea creatures like fish or squid, it would open its mouth wide. The teeth would move in a way that could grip and slice through its target, effectively pinning it down while simultaneously tearing it apart. The creature's powerful jaw muscles allowed it to pull its prey into its mouth with great force, ensuring a firm hold. Helicoprion inhabited a time when the seas were full of diverse and often unprotected life forms. Its ability to process and consume prey with those formidable teeth likely gave it an edge over competitors. This method of capturing prey could also allow the helicoprion to quickly consume animals and deter scavengers or other predators from stealing its meal. Overall, its specialized teeth and feeding strategy made it a formidable hunter in the ancient oceans. The Tylosaurus was a formidable sea creature, a giant among marine reptiles during its time. Imagine it gliding effortlessly through the water, its long, streamlined body designed for speed and agility. When it came to hunting, Tylosaurus was well equipped. Its massive jaws housed sharp teeth that could easily seize and grip its prey. Tylosaurus was known to be an apex predator, meaning it sat at the top of the food chain within its environment. This creature likely had the capability to hunt and take down large prey, including those that were comparable in size to itself. It might have targeted other marine reptiles or large fish, using cunning and strength to overpower them. In the depths of the ocean, the hunt was not just about strength. Tylosaurus also relied on its intelligence and hunting strategies. It might have ambushed its prey or chased it down with bursts of speed. Sometimes larger animals have their own defenses, but Tylosaurus's adaptability and predator's instincts would give it a significant advantage. Overall, Tylosaurus was not only built for hunting, but also developed the necessary skills and tactics to take on substantial prey, utilizing its powerful jaws and agile body to dominate its surroundings. Gifactinus, an enormous prehistoric fish that lived during the late Cretaceous period, was an impressive predator. Its unique method of swallowing prey whole is particularly fascinating. This fish had a mouth that was not only large but also filled with sharp, conical teeth. These teeth were designed to grip slippery victims, but not necessarily chew them. The anatomy of Gifactinus contributed significantly to its feeding strategy. The fish had a highly flexible jaw that could open very wide. Imagine the way a python consumes its prey. Similarly, Gifactinus could open its mouth wide enough to engulf a fish or even a smaller aquatic creature in a single gulp. Once a meal was inside, the powerful throat muscles helped pull the prey down into the stomach. The sheer size of Gifactinus allowed it to tackle relatively large prey. Its streamlined body enabled swift movements, so it could ambush unsuspecting fish. When Gifactinus struck, it used not just its teeth, but its entire body to create a powerful suction, pulling the victim in whole. This hunting technique reflects both the creature's adaptability and its role as a dominant predator in its ecosystem, showcasing how it thrived in the rich prehistoric seas. Dunkleosteus was a fascinating creature that swam in the oceans around 365 million years ago, during a time known as the Late Devonian period. This prehistoric fish was one of the largest armored fish ever to have existed, reaching lengths of up to 10 meters, or about 33 feet, making it an impressive predator of its time. Dunkleosteus had a distinctive appearance, with a heavily plated head and a mouth filled with sharp, bony structures instead of traditional teeth, giving it a fearsome look. When considering its bite strength, Dunkleosteus is estimated to have had an extraordinary bite force, surpassing that of many modern-day predators. Its powerful jaws could apply immense pressure, allowing it to crush hard-shelled prey, like mollusks and crustaceans. In fact, some studies suggest that its bite might have been stronger than that of today's crocodiles and great white sharks, which are both known for their formidable biting capabilities. To understand how this bite strength compares to contemporary predators, imagine the force behind a crocodile's bite. This powerful creature can crush bones with ease. Dunkleosteus, however, operated with even greater force, suggesting that this ancient predator not only held its own, but perhaps ruled its domain in the oceans of the past. Its unique adaptations, including its armored body and powerful bite, positioned Dunkleosteus as a top predator in an age long before dinosaurs roamed the earth, demonstrating the diverse and fascinating evolutionary pathways of life in our planet's history. In the vast history of our planet, there were indeed creatures that surpassed the immense size of a blue whale. The blue whale, known to be the largest animal alive today, can reach lengths comparable to 3 school buses lined up end to end. However, when we look back into prehistoric times, we encounter the mighty megalodon. This enormous shark could grow even larger than most blue whales, reaching lengths approaching that of a bus while having an incredibly powerful bite. Moreover, some ancient marine reptiles called ichthyosaurs also reached impressive sizes. These reptiles resembled modern dolphins, but could grow to lengths that rival today's largest animals. Though these creatures roamed the oceans millions of years ago, they showcase the incredible variety of life forms that once existed. While there are controversies and ongoing debates about the exact sizes of these ancient giants, they undeniably reveal that the ocean has housed remarkable creatures, many of which dwarf even the largest animals we know today. Their existence helps us understand the dynamic nature of life in our oceans and the extraordinary evolutionary journey that has unfolded over millions of years. Velociraptors, often depicted in movies as highly intelligent and fearsome creatures, were more nuanced in their hunting strategies than popular media suggests. These dinosaurs were relatively small, about the size of a modern-day turkey, and they had a slender, agile build that allowed them to move quickly. They had sharp claws, particularly the curved, sickle-shaped claw on their foot, which likely served as their primary weapon for subduing prey. Instead of hunting in packs like some films portray, recent evidence suggests that velociraptors may have been more solitary hunters, or at best, hunted in small groups. Their hunting tactics likely involved using their speed and agility to ambush smaller animals. They were likely opportunistic feeders, meaning they would eat whatever was available, from small dinosaurs to smaller reptiles and possibly scavenged remains. As for their deadliness, while velociraptors were certainly skilled predators, their portrayal in movies often exaggerates their ferocity and intelligence. The real danger they posed would depend significantly on their environment and the size of their prey. They probably relied on stealth and speed rather than sheer brute force. While they were certainly formidable in their own right, the reality of velociraptor hunting behavior is more subtle and complex than the thrilling depictions seen on the big screen. Pack hunting is a fascinating social behavior that has played a significant role in the success of certain raptor species. When these birds hunt in groups, they can coordinate their efforts, increasing their efficiency and effectiveness in capturing prey. Imagine a scenario where a single raptor might struggle to take down a large animal alone. However, when they work as a team, each bird can play a specific role, such as driving the prey in a direction while others wait to intercept or confuse it. This teamwork allows them to tackle larger or more agile prey that would be too difficult to capture individually. Additionally, hunting in packs provides raptors with greater safety. By staying together, they can help protect each other from larger predators that might threaten them. The social dynamic involved in pack hunting also strengthens bonds within the group. These connections can lead to better communication and coordination over time, making the hunting experience more successful. Ultimately, pack hunting has enabled raptors to thrive in diverse environments by allowing them to adapt their hunting strategies, maximize food acquisition, and maintain their position at the top of the food chain. Dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex were fascinating creatures, but understanding their intelligence is a bit complex. To explore this, we first look at their brain structure and size. T-Rex had a relatively large brain in proportion to its body, especially when compared to other dinosaurs. This suggests they had some cognitive abilities, but it doesn't necessarily mean they could plan ambushes like a modern predator. Predation strategies often require a mix of instincts and learned behaviors. It is believed that T-Rex relied more on its physical advantages, such as immense size, powerful jaws, and keen senses, than on advanced strategic thinking. For instance, evidence suggests T-Rex could detect scents and movement from significant distances, helping it locate prey without needing to devise complicated plans. While it's possible that T-Rex had some basic problem-solving abilities, competing views suggest that its hunting style was likely more opportunistic. They may have relied on surprise or brute force rather than complex ambush strategies, which require sophisticated memory and foresight. Overall, while T-Rex was a formidable predator, its intelligence was probably not on par with animals that display advanced hunting tactics seen in some modern species, like wolves or certain big cats. Prehistoric crocodiles like Dinosaurus were masters of stealth when it came to hunting. Picture a large crocodile, nearly the size of a school bus, lurking just beneath the surface of a warm, shallow river. Their bodies were perfectly adapted for this ambush technique. They had long, powerful tails that allowed them to propel themselves quickly through the water, while their sleek, elongated bodies helped minimize resistance. Dinosaurus would often lie in wait, fully submerged except for the eyes and nostrils barely above the water's surface. This position concealed them from potential prey, such as dinosaur herds approaching the water to drink. Their skin was tough, offering both protection and camouflage among murky waters and shadows. When prey would come close, Dinosaurus would spring into action with remarkable speed, an often surprising burst of energy given their size. With strong jaws filled with conical teeth designed for gripping rather than chewing, they would strike with a swift snap. This technique allowed them to latch onto their target securely. Once secured, they would drag their catch into deeper waters, using their immense strength to overpower it, where the struggle could be navigated out of sight of other creatures. The ambush strategy of Dinosaurus was not just about speed, it was also about patience. They could spend long periods motionless, waiting for the right moment to strike. In the unpredictable world of prehistoric waters, this combination of camouflage and explosive action made them formidable hunters, contributing to their success in the ancient ecosystem. Sarcosuchus, often referred to as the super croc, lived during the time of the dinosaurs, about 100 million years ago. This massive creature could grow to lengths exceeding those of a bus, making it one of the largest crocodilians ever known. Its formidable size and powerful jaws offered a significant advantage in its aquatic environment. Imagine a creature capable of ambushing prey near the water's edge with speed and stealth. Sarcosuchus likely hunted both fish and potentially larger animals that ventured too close to the water. The combination of its strong bite, powerful enough to crush bones, and its robust body meant it could tackle substantial prey. When considering a confrontation between Sarcosuchus and dinosaurs, it's essential to recognize the context of their interactions. Many dinosaurs were large and formidable in their own right, and not all of them would have been easy targets for a creature like Sarcosuchus. However, if a dinosaur approached a body of water where Sarcosuchus lurked, the chances of an ambush increased significantly. In an environment where this ancient croc was hunting, it might have had the upper hand against smaller or less aware dinosaurs. While Sarcosuchus was a powerful predator, the outcome of any encounter would have depended on factors like the dinosaur's size, its awareness of the lurking threat, and the conditions surrounding the confrontation. In the ancient ecosystems, survival often hinged on such variables, creating a delicate balance between predator and prey. The idea that some dinosaurs might have used venom or toxic bites is fascinating and has sparked much interest among scientists and paleontologists. While most dinosaurs are traditionally viewed as predators relying on their size, strength, or speed, recent discoveries suggest that some may have had more complex strategies for hunting and survival. For instance, there is evidence that certain theropod dinosaurs, which include famous species like the Tyrannosaurus rex and the Velociraptor, may have had anatomical features that hint at venomous capabilities. Researchers have studied the structure of their teeth and jaw, noting characteristics similar to those found in modern venomous reptiles. For example, if a dinosaur had serrated teeth and a particular configuration in its jaw, it might have been able to deliver a toxic bite when attacking prey. Additionally, discussions among scientists have looked into the possibility of dinosaurs using plant toxins. Some dinosaurs might have consumed toxic plants, which could have affected their saliva, making their bites harmful or incapacitating to the animals they preyed upon. This would create a form of chemical defense, allowing them to subdue prey more easily. However, concrete evidence is still limited. The absence of preserved venom glands or specific signs of toxicity in fossils means that while the idea is plausible and intriguing, it remains largely theoretical at this stage. As ongoing research continues to uncover more about the biology and behavior of dinosaurs, we might find clearer answers that reveal the complexity of how these magnificent creatures hunted and thrived in their environments. The Therizinosaurus is a fascinating creature, known for its remarkable and fearsome claws. These claws are among the longest of any dinosaur, resembling giant curved blades. Imagine a large animal with claws that could reach lengths similar to a common kitchen knife. Their primary purpose likely was not hunting for food, but rather defense and display. In terms of combat, the Therizinosaurus would have used its powerful claws to intimidate predators or rivals. The size and sharpness of these claws could create a formidable presence in a confrontation. When threatened, it might have slashed at attackers, making it a dangerous opponent despite its herbivorous diet. It's much like the defensive mechanisms of many modern animals that do not hunt but will fiercely protect themselves. Additionally, these claws could have played a role in establishing dominance during mating rituals or territorial disputes. By displaying their impressive claws to others, Therizinosaurus might have deterred potential threats and attracted mates without needing to resort to violence. Overall, the deadly claws of the Therizinosaurus were not just tools for protection. They were part of an intricate behavior system that involved displaying strength, defending against threats, and possibly taking part in social interactions, making them a key feature of this unique dinosaur. In the era of prehistoric predators, each weapon, teeth, claws, and speed, played a significant role in ensuring survival. However, assessing their effectiveness depends on various factors. Teeth were often the most crucial weapon for predators like the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. With their large, sharp teeth designed for crushing bone and tearing flesh, they were ideally suited for inflicting fatal injuries on prey. A strong bite could immobilize a target quickly, making teeth a primary tool for hunting. Claws, on the other hand, served multiple purposes. They not only helped in grasping and holding on to prey, but also acted as an efficient slicing tool. Creatures like the velociraptor, with their elongated and sharp claws, utilized these to deliver precise, lethal strikes. The combination of claws and agility allowed these predators to be effective hunters in their environment. Speed, while sometimes considered less lethal than teeth or claws, was significant in the competitive world of prehistoric ecosystems. Predators that could outrun their prey had an advantage, as stamina and quick bursts of speed allowed them to either chase down fleeing animals or evade larger predators. Species like the agile saber-toothed cat showcased how speed, when combined with strength and other physical adaptations, could create a highly effective hunting strategy. Ultimately, it's the interplay of these weapons that made prehistoric predators successful. While teeth might deliver the fatal bite, claws enhance the effectiveness of the attack, and speed ensures both successful pursuits and escapes. Each weapon had its strengths and weaknesses, and the most effective strategy often depended on the unique circumstances of the hunt and the favored prey of the predator. Some dinosaurs had incredibly powerful tails that they could use for defense or offensive actions. Imagine a massive whip that could strike with great force. This is what some dinosaurs' tails were capable of. The most notable species known for their tail weaponry include the mighty Ankylosaurus and the swift Allosaurus. Ankylosaurus was heavily armored, its body covered in thick plates and spikes, while its tail ended in a large bony club. When threatened, it could swing this club with surprising speed and strength, potentially delivering a bone-crushing blow to any predator attempting to attack. On the other hand, Allosaurus had a long, muscular tail that could be used to create a powerful swing. While it is primarily known for its sharp teeth and strong jaws, an Allosaurus could use its tail to deliver a forceful strike that might be enough to knock down smaller opponents or intimidate larger rivals. Additionally, dinosaurs like Stegosaurus used their tails in a similar manner, with spikes at the end that could cause significant injury to any foe. This combination of strength, speed, and specialized adaptations made their tails not just a means of balance or mobility, but also formidable weapons in their own right. In the wild world of dinosaurs, a swing of a tail could be as dangerous as a bite from their sharp teeth. While dinosaurs were remarkably diverse with various adaptations for survival, the idea of using brute force alone to overpower enemies might be a bit simplistic. Some dinosaurs, like the massive carnivorous theropods, possessed powerful jaws and sharp teeth, enabling them to deliver crushing bites to their prey. These dinosaurs, such as the infamous Tyrannosaurus rex, relied on their size and strength, combined with keen senses, to hunt effectively. However, the natural world is rarely just about one tactic. Many dinosaurs also exhibited behaviors that involved strategy, agility, and social dynamics. For instance, some herbivorous dinosaurs, like the Triceratops, sported imposing horns and a strong beak. They likely used these features both for defense against predators and for competing with other herbivores over territory or mates. Instead of brutishly trampling their enemies, they might have used their strength and size in combination with these anatomical features strategically. Moreover, some dinosaurs were quite clever and adapted to their environments in ways that went beyond sheer physical force. They developed swift running capacities or flocking behaviors to evade predators. The ecological interactions among different species highlight a complex web of survival strategies, where brute force is just one piece of the puzzle. Each dinosaur adapted uniquely, depending on their specific niche, all within an intricate ecosystem that encouraged both strength and cunning. The idea that prehistoric creatures like Megalodon could still exist in the depths of the ocean is certainly intriguing. Megalodon, a massive prehistoric shark, lived millions of years ago and is often depicted as one of the ocean's most formidable predators. This enormous fish could grow to an incredible size, reaching lengths comparable to a school bus. Despite the vastness of our oceans and the many unexplored regions within them, it is unlikely that a creature like Megalodon still swims in the depths. First, the environmental conditions have dramatically changed since the time of Megalodon. During its reign, ocean temperatures and ecosystems were vastly different, supporting a variety of marine life that is no longer present today. Moreover, Megalodon's primary food source, large marine mammals, has evolved over the ages. The creatures that made up its diet would have changed, and it's uncertain if sufficient prey still exists to sustain such a large predator. Additionally, even in the uncharted territories of the deep ocean, the likelihood of discovering a creature that has been extinct for millions of years is slim. Fossil evidence shows that Megalodon disappeared around 3 million years ago, suggesting that it faced challenges in its environment that it ultimately could not overcome. While the deep ocean remains mysterious and full of surprises, and new species are discovered regularly, the existence of a creature as iconic as Megalodon is highly improbable. Instead, what might be lurking in the deep is entirely different, adapted to the modern conditions of the ocean. So, while the ocean might still hold great wonders, the legendary Megalodon is more a part of history than of our present. The idea of modern sightings of dinosaurs captures the imagination, but scientifically, it is not possible. Dinosaurs went extinct approximately 66 million years ago during a mass extinction event, likely caused by a catastrophic asteroid impact. This event sealed their fate, leading to the rise of mammals and ultimately humans. However, the connection between dinosaurs and some modern reptiles is a compelling topic. Birds, for example, are considered the direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs, meaning they carry characteristics of their ancient relatives. When we observe birds today, we are witnessing a small homage to what once roamed the earth. As for the possibility of any dinosaurs surviving to this day, the evidence does not support this idea. The environment during the time of the dinosaurs was vastly different from today, with different climates and ecosystems. If any dinosaur species had somehow escaped extinction, the changes in Earth's atmosphere, temperature, and food sources would have created an extremely hostile environment for their survival. There are frequent claims and stories of dinosaur-like creatures in remote areas, often fueled by folklore or misidentifications of known animals, like large reptiles or birds. Though these tales might thrill us, they lack scientific backing. In conclusion, while the fascination with dinosaurs continues to inspire stories and movies, the truth is that these magnificent creatures have been absent from our world for millions of years. Their legacy, however, lives on in the birds we see today, echoing the history of life on our planet. The idea of prehistoric marine reptiles still existing in today's oceans is certainly fascinating but highly unlikely. During the age of dinosaurs, various marine reptiles like the mosasaurs and plesiosaurs roamed the waters. However, these creatures thrived in a vastly different environment and went extinct millions of years ago, likely due to dramatic changes in climate, sea levels, and food sources. Today, modern oceans are home to a diverse range of species, but they have adapted to current conditions and ecosystems. If prehistoric marine reptiles had survived, we would expect to find substantial evidence, whether in fossil records or the encounters of marine biologists. Unfortunately, despite extensive exploration of the oceans, no reliable sightings or evidence of these ancient reptiles have been documented. Additionally, the oceans are now very different from the prehistoric era. The changes in temperature, salinity, and biological competition would make survival exceedingly difficult for creatures that were specifically adapted to ancient environments. While stories of giant sea monsters and cryptids often capture the imagination, they do not stand up to scientific scrutiny. Thus, while it inspires the imagination, the notion of prehistoric marine reptiles hiding in the ocean remains within the realm of myth rather than biological reality. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster captures the imagination with vivid tales of a creature lurking in the depths of Scotland's Loch Ness. Many people have speculated that this monster could be a surviving plesiosaur, which was a type of marine reptile that lived during the age of dinosaurs. However, the scientific reality is quite different. Plesiosaurs were large, aquatic creatures with long necks and paddle-like limbs that roamed the oceans millions of years ago. They thrived in a world that has changed dramatically since their time. The last known plesiosaurs lived around 65 million years ago, long before the first humans walked the earth. The idea that a creature from that era could still exist, hidden in a deep freshwater lake, poses significant challenges. First, there is no solid evidence of such creatures living in Loch Ness or anywhere else. Reports and sightings often lack reliable photographic or physical proof. Many purported images of the creature have been identified as hoaxes, and over the years, various explanations have emerged, from misidentified animals to floating debris. Scientists have conducted thorough sonar scans and studies of the loch, finding no signs of large creatures. Moreover, the ecological conditions of Loch Ness would not support a large plesiosaur-like creature. This lake is much smaller than the vast oceans these animals inhabited. The food sources, ecosystem dynamics, and water temperature of Loch Ness are vastly different. While the idea of a surviving plesiosaur is a fascinating thought, it remains in the realm of myth rather than scientific fact. The lore surrounding the Loch Ness monster continues to intrigue, leading many to wonder about the secrets that lie beneath its surface. Yet the combination of historical knowledge, scientific investigation, and the challenges of sustaining such an ancient creature in today's environment suggests that the Loch Ness monster is more myth than reality. The idea that dinosaurs could evolve into modern cryptids, such as Mokele Mbembe, is an intriguing notion, but it requires careful consideration. Dinosaurs, which once roamed the Earth, existed millions of years ago and are believed to have largely gone extinct as a group around 65 million years ago. However, some of their descendants, the birds we see today, show how evolution can lead to significant changes over time. Mokele Mbembe, often described as a large dinosaur-like creature allegedly residing in the Congo Basin, captures the imagination, yet there is no scientific evidence supporting its existence. Cryptids like Mokele Mbembe often emerge from folklore and local legends, often illustrating a community's cultural narratives rather than factual biological evidence. The transformation of one species into another involves gradual changes over vast timescales driven by environmental pressures, genetic variations, and adaptations. While it's theoretically possible for a reptilian creature to evolve in ways that might resemble the features of dinosaurs, such transformations would take countless generations. The creatures that people claim to see today have not been shown to directly link back to any known species of dinosaur. Additionally, the ecosystems where these cryptids are said to exist have also dramatically changed since the age of dinosaurs. Habitats have shifted, and many environmental factors today are different from what they were millions of years ago. Modern animals and their habitats have evolved in response to these changes, making it unlikely that any ancient creatures have simply persisted and transformed into what we now think of as cryptids. While the concept of ancient creatures morphing into modern myths is engaging, the scientific record shows that the vast majority of dinosaurs did not leave behind living descendants akin to the mythical creatures reported today. The stories of cryptids are more reflective of human imagination, cultural stories, and the mystery of the unexplored than of direct biological evolution from the age of dinosaurs. The idea of massive underground caves housing prehistoric survivors sparks the imagination and invites us to explore some fascinating possibilities. While it might seem far-fetched, these caves could potentially act as isolated ecosystems, much like time capsules. Many existing caves are expansive, with vast chambers and intricate passageways. They can maintain unique environments, sheltered from the outside world, providing conditions that might allow certain species to survive for extended periods. In regions where the surface has changed drastically, either due to climate shifts or catastrophic events, underground spaces could serve as refuges for plants and animals. However, for prehistoric humans to exist in these underground habitats, they would need specific resources. They would require food, water, and a way to sustain warmth. Many caves hold underground rivers or springs which could provide a water source. Some caves also contain fossilized remains, suggesting that prehistoric animals did occupy these spaces, at least temporarily. Nonetheless, surviving entirely underground presents significant challenges. Natural light is typically scarce, making growing food difficult, and the need for air circulation becomes crucial. While these caves might offer protection, life sustained solely within them would be precarious and limited without access to the surface. While massive underground caves could theoretically support certain life forms, the idea of prehistoric humans creating a thriving society there is much more complicated. Isolated ecosystems do exist, but they would need specific conditions to support any kind of long-term survival. It's a fascinating concept, blending the allure of deep caves with the mystery of human history and evolution. The term living fossil refers to a species that has remained relatively unchanged for millions of years and is similar to organisms known only from fossil records. One of the most famous examples is the coelacanth, a type of fish that was believed to have been extinct for around 70 million years until it was discovered alive in the 1930s off the coast of South Africa. This remarkable finding shocked scientists because the coelacanth is closely related to the ancestors of all land vertebrates. Another example is the ginkgo tree, which has existed for about 200 million years. Thought to have disappeared from the wild, ginkgo trees were found thriving in some areas of Asia. Their distinct fan-shaped leaves make them easily recognizable, and they continue to flourish today, often in urban environments. These discoveries challenge our understanding of extinction and survival. They show that some species can evade a changing world and adapt in ways that allow them to endure even after the majority of their relatives have vanished. Living fossils offer valuable insights into the history of life on Earth and how certain traits can persist over vast stretches of time, helping scientists study evolution and environmental change throughout history. The idea that prehistoric parasites or bacteria from the time of dinosaurs may still exist sparks curiosity. While it is unlikely that specific parasites or bacteria have remained unchanged for millions of years, it's important to understand how life adapts and evolves. Bacteria, in particular, are incredibly resilient and can survive in extreme conditions. Some modern bacteria can endure environments that are harsh and inhospitable, such as boiling hot springs or deep-sea vents. This adaptability suggests that while direct descendants of dinosaur-era pathogens may not be present, their relatives still thrive today. Additionally, some microorganisms can enter a dormant state when conditions are unfavorable, allowing them to survive for extensive periods. This phenomenon raises fascinating possibilities for ancient microbes. For instance, researchers have discovered viable bacteria trapped in ice or salt crystals that have been preserved for considerable time. However, these would be more closely related to ancient forms rather than exactly the same as those millions of years old. It's also worth noting that new discoveries in paleontology may unearth fossilized evidence of ancient parasites, giving us insight into their existence. Yet, any current organisms we study are products of millions of years of evolution and change. Therefore, while remnants of ancient life could influence modern species, the actual prehistoric parasites and bacteria from dinosaurs have likely evolved into different forms or disappeared entirely. Science continues to unveil the mysteries of life's history, demonstrating how interconnected all living organisms are across time. Many prehistoric insects have indeed left their mark in the fossil record, but remarkably, some of their descendants still roam our planet today. A notable group of these living relatives includes certain varieties of cockroaches, dragonflies, and mayflies, which can trace their lineage back hundreds of millions of years. One of the most famous prehistoric insects is the giant dragonfly known as Meganeura. These creatures existed around 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. Meganeura boasted a wingspan that could reach nearly the length of a bicycle, making it one of the largest flying insects ever to exist. Its size was likely facilitated by the rich oxygen levels of its time, allowing such creatures to thrive. Though today's insects are generally much smaller than their prehistoric cousins, the fact that some of their modern relatives still exist is a testament to their resilience. Evolution has shaped these insects over millions of years, adapting them to survive various changing environments while maintaining certain traits from their ancient ancestors. The study of these creatures helps scientists understand the past and the evolutionary processes that have shaped life on Earth. Imagine a world where the dinosaurs never faced extinction. For such a scenario to unfold, several critical conditions would have needed to be different from the reality we know. First, the asteroid impact that struck Earth around 66 million years ago would have to have either not occurred or resulted in far less catastrophic effects. This event led to massive fires, blocked sunlight, and drastic climate changes, drastically altering ecosystems and food chains. Alternatively, if the impact had happened, the Earth would need to recover rapidly, allowing habitats to stabilize and sustain life. Adequate plant growth would be essential to support herbivorous dinosaurs, which in turn would provide food for carnivorous species. A more gradual shift in climate, rather than a sudden and severe one, could have created an environment where dinosaurs could adapt slowly over time instead of facing rapid extinction. Additionally, the diversity among dinosaur species played a crucial role in their survival. If certain lineages had been able to evolve into smaller, more adaptable forms that could thrive in changing environments, they might have persisted. This could include a shift to more nocturnal habits or the development of new feeding strategies to exploit different food sources. Lastly, the presence of other species, including mammals, could also be considered. If early mammals had not thrived in the aftermath of the extinction event, or if they had remained small and less competitive, dinosaurs might have persisted in various forms without facing significant competition. A combination of altered catastrophic events, gradual environmental changes, successful adaptations, and the dynamic interplay with other species would have been needed for dinosaurs to survive extinction and continue roaming the Earth. The fierce encounter between Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops is a captivating chapter in the history of dinosaurs. Picture a lush landscape millions of years ago where massive creatures roamed and the very ground vibrated with their movements. Tyrannosaurus rex, a formidable predator, boasted powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth capable of crushing bone. Its keen eyesight and impressive speed made it a skilled hunter, able to close in on prey with sudden, terrifying efficiency. Now imagine Triceratops, a large herbivore renowned for its 3 distinct facial horns and a thick, bony frill adorning its neck. This dinosaur was far from defenseless. In fact, its hefty body and robust features provided excellent protection against its enemies. In a confrontation, T-Rex would likely attempt a swift surprise attack, using its height to its advantage as it snarled in an effort to intimidate. Triceratops, however, did not just stand idle. It was equipped with sharp horns and a sturdy frame that could withstand powerful blows, allowing it to charge at its adversary. This defensive posture would enable Triceratops to inflict damage of its own, using those lethal horns in an effort to repel the attack. Ultimately, the outcome of such a battle is not straightforward. Factors such as the specific environment, age, health, and experience of each dinosaur would play significant roles. While some experts believe the sheer power and ferocity of T-Rex could potentially overwhelm a Triceratops, others argue that if the herbivore managed to land a blow with those sharp horns, it might turn the table. In short, the victor could vary widely depending on countless variables, making each imagined encounter uniquely thrilling and unpredictable. The Spinosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex lived during different periods, which means they never shared the Earth at the same time. Spinosaurus roamed the planet about 100 million years ago, during the time of the dinosaurs called the Cretaceous period, while T-Rex appeared much later, around 68 million years ago. So they never had the chance for an encounter. However, imagining a hypothetical battle between these two massive predators is fascinating. Spinosaurus was larger than T-Rex, with a long, crocodile-like snout and a sail-like structure on its back. It was primarily a fish-eater and was likely very adept at swimming, which gave it an edge in aquatic environments. This creature relied on its unique adaptations to hunt in water rather than on land. On the other hand, T-Rex was a terrestrial predator, built for power and strength. Its strong jaws could crush bone, and its keen sense of smell made it a highly effective land hunter. It was designed to take down large prey on solid ground. If they had encountered one another, location would be crucial. In a water-rich environment, Spinosaurus might have had the upper hand due to its swimming abilities, but on dry land, T-Rex's formidable strength and hunting skills would likely have given it an advantage. Ultimately, while it's intriguing to picture a dramatic clash between these titans, we can only speculate. The unique adaptations of each dinosaur would have played a significant role in the outcome, dependent on their environment. Fossils provide fascinating glimpses into the lives of dinosaurs, including evidence that they were not just solitary creatures, but also engaged in fights. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from fossilized bones that show signs of injury. These injuries can include bite marks or cuts that indicate a struggle. For instance, some dinosaur bones have been found with clear scratch marks, suggesting they were attacked by other dinosaurs. In addition to direct evidence of injury, we also find fossils that depict interactions between different species. This can include whole skeletons found in close proximity, hinting at a fight that may have resulted in their deaths. Some paleontologists have even discovered fossilized remains that show specific positions, like one dinosaur on top of another, which could imply that they were engaged in a battle. Another important source of evidence comes from coprolites, which are fossilized dinosaur droppings. When analyzed, these can reveal bits of undigested bone or material from other dinosaurs, suggesting that the beast was, at some point, involved in a predatory encounter. Furthermore, certain sites have yielded numerous dinosaur tracks that show signs of hurried movement or sudden stops, which might indicate fleeing or aggressive behavior. Paleontologists study these tracks to interpret the potential interactions that could have occurred during that time. Together, these various forms of evidence paint a vivid picture of the combative and often dangerous reality of life for dinosaurs millions of years ago. The Ankylosaurus was a remarkable dinosaur known for its unique defense mechanisms against predators. Imagine a massive creature, about as long as a small truck, covered in a tough armored skin that shielded it from attacks. This armor was not just for show. It consisted of bony plates known as osteoderms, which acted like natural body armor, making it difficult for predators to inflict serious harm. Ankylosaurus also had a distinct feature that set it apart from many other dinosaurs: its tail. This tail was like a weapon, ending in a large, club-like structure. When threatened, Ankylosaurus could swing its tail with considerable strength, delivering a powerful blow to any predator that dared to attack. This swinging motion could cause significant damage, deterring hungry carnivores from pursuing it. Additionally, Ankylosaurus was a relatively low and heavy creature. Its low profile made it harder for larger predators to reach its vulnerable spots. This combination of heavy armor, defensive tail, and its posture made it a formidable opponent in the prehistoric world. Ankylosaurus used a mix of physical defenses and strategic behaviors to protect itself from threats, allowing it to thrive in its environment. Imagine a group of small, agile raptors hunting in a coordinated manner, much like modern-day wolves. While raptors were certainly formidable predators, size and strength also play a significant role in their success as hunters. Although they could be swift and cunning, taking down a much larger dinosaur would be a daunting task. A raptor's hunting strategy would likely involve teamwork. They might use their numbers to distract and outmaneuver a larger dinosaur looking for weaknesses. If the larger dinosaur was slow or injured, this pack mentality could give them an advantage. However, if the size difference were too great, like trying to bring down a massive theropod or a lumbering herbivore, the raptors would face significant risks. In nature, many predators often avoid overly large prey. Even with teamwork and speed, a larger dinosaur could easily fend off attacks and inflict severe damage to a raptor. So, while there are scenarios in which a pack of raptors could attack and potentially overwhelm a weaker or sick larger dinosaur, such instances would be rare and influenced by many factors, including the health and characteristics of both predator and prey. Ultimately, each encounter in the prehistoric world was highly complex and shaped by the interplay of strength, strategy, and circumstance. Sauropods like Brachiosaurus, known for their enormous size and long necks, were not typically aggressive creatures. Instead, their strategy for dealing with predators was rooted in their impressive size. Standing on legs that could reach exceptional heights, Brachiosaurus could use its long neck to access tall vegetation, giving it a significant advantage when it came to feeding. This grandeur also made them formidable opponents to potential threats. When faced with predators like Allosaurus, these giant herbivores primarily relied on their sheer size as a deterrent. A healthy adult Brachiosaurus was so large that many carnivores would think twice before attempting an attack. Should a predator approach, a Brachiosaurus could use its long neck and whip-like tail defensively. The tail, when swung with force, would act like a massive club, capable of inflicting serious injury if it connected with a pursuer. Moreover, the group behavior of Brachiosaurus might have also played a role in their defense. Herding together could create a sense of safety, as larger numbers could protect the vulnerable members, particularly the young or injured. This communal defense made it harder for predators to isolate an individual and take it down. While Brachiosaurus may not have actively fought off predators, its size, defensive adaptations like a powerful tail, and social behaviors provided significant protection against threats in its environment. The tail whip of a Stegosaurus and other armored dinosaurs was a formidable weapon, designed for defense against predators. Picture a large, heavy tail armed with bony plates or spikes. When an armored dinosaur like Stegosaurus felt threatened, it could swing its tail with surprising speed and power, utilizing the weight and sharpness of its features. The potential lethality of these tail whips lies in their sheer force. The muscles along the dinosaur's body allowed for strong, quick movements, enabling them to deliver strikes that could easily fend off dangerous attackers. Imagine the sound of a heavy club swinging through the air, capable of breaking bones or causing severe injuries to an adversary. The presence of spikes or bony protrusions only amplified this threat, as they could puncture skin and damage muscle tissue upon impact. Other armored dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus had similar adaptations. They often possessed tails that ended in a large bony club, making their tail strikes even more dangerous. An attack from one of these hefty tails could be likened to being struck with a solid, heavy object. Such impacts could have seriously injured or even killed predators that underestimated these dinosaurs. A tail whip from Stegosaurus or its armored relatives was not just a display of strength, it was a critical adaptation that allowed these dinosaurs to defend themselves effectively against the predators of their time. The combination of size, muscle, and sharp bone created a potential for harm that was very real in the ancient ecosystems they inhabited. When considering the most destructive herbivore in terms of self-defense, the focus often shifts to the ancient dinosaurs, particularly the Triceratops. This remarkable creature was equipped with a large bony frill at the back of its head and 3 formidable horns on its face. These physical features were not just for decoration, they served a critical purpose in protecting Triceratops from predators. Imagine a massive creature weighing thousands of pounds charging at an attacker with its powerful horns. In a way, the Triceratops acted like a tank. When threatened, it could not only defend itself, but also assert dominance in its territory. The sheer size of this dinosaur, combined with its strong build, meant that when it felt threatened, it could inadvertently cause significant destruction in its environment. The act of defending itself could lead to trampling plants or even damaging trees as it maneuvered. Moreover, its herd behavior added another layer to its strength in numbers. When a group of Triceratops faced a predator, their collective response would have been both a show of force and an effective defense mechanism against attacks. This social behavior could lead to a chaotic and intimidating scene, further reinforcing their place as one of the most impactful herbivores in terms of self-defense. Ultimately, the Triceratops and its defensive capabilities not only ensured its survival, but also altered the ecosystems it inhabited, making it a fascinating subject of study in the ancient world. Throughout prehistoric times, the battles among ancient species were often more brutal and chaotic than what we witness in today's natural world. Imagine giant creatures locked in struggles for survival, territorial dominance, or mating rights, with physical confrontations far exceeding those of modern animals. Take the colossal predators known as theropods, like the Tyrannosaurus rex. This dinosaur, with its massive jaws and powerful legs, engaged in ferocious confrontations with other large predators and herbivores. The scale of these battles would have been intense. The sheer size and strength of these creatures led to violent encounters that determined which giant would reign supreme over its territory. In the oceans, a different story unfolds with apex predators like the megalodon, a gigantic shark. This creature stalked prehistoric seas, clashing with other formidable marine animals. The speed and size of these underwater battles would have been unlike anything we see today. Imagine a predator capable of taking down whales, engaging in vicious hunts that left chaos in its wake. Furthermore, the Pleistocene era offered a dramatic showcase of battles between species like woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats. Elephants, using their tremendous weight, would often fend off large carnivores. Meanwhile, saber-toothed cats utilized their elongated canine teeth to inflict serious damage on prey or rivals. The struggles between these species were not only about survival, but also about establishing dominance in a harsh and competitive environment. These prehistoric battles were shaped by the surroundings, with changing climates and landscapes forcing animals into confrontations for resources. Thus, while today's animal kingdom exhibits its own forms of violence and conflict, the prehistoric world presented a level of scale, ferocity, and drama that was often beyond what we see in modern times. The fights for survival in this ancient world were not just about life and death, but were marked by intense violence that shaped the course of evolution itself. Yes, fossils have been discovered that appear to show dinosaurs in the midst of battle. One of the most notable examples is a fossil of a small theropod dinosaur found with a larger predator's teeth embedded in its bones. This suggests a struggle occurred, possibly indicating a predatory attack. In another significant find, a dinosaur fossil was discovered in a position that suggests it was caught in a lethal confrontation with another dinosaur, preserving the moment of conflict in the stone. These fossils provide a compelling glimpse into the behavior and interactions of these ancient creatures. They offer hints at survival strategies, instincts, and the intense realities of life during the age of dinosaurs. Such findings enrich our understanding of their ecosystems and the complex dynamics that played out millions of years ago, revealing that even in the drama of survival, the struggle to live was a fierce and often violent affair. The asteroid impact that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs was a colossal event that altered life on Earth dramatically. About 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid, roughly the size of a small city, struck the Yucatan Peninsula in present-day Mexico. When this object crashed into the Earth, it released an incredible amount of energy, similar to the explosion of millions of atomic bombs. As the asteroid collided with the surface, it created a crater that is now known as the Chicxulub crater, which is over 180 kilometers wide. The impact sent shockwaves through the ground, generating powerful tsunamis and wildfires that erupted from the intense heat. Dust and debris were propelled high into the atmosphere, blocking out sunlight for an extended period. This sudden darkness disrupted photosynthesis, affecting plant life and, in turn, the entire food chain that depended on these plants, including the massive dinosaurs. In the aftermath, temperatures plummeted initially, creating conditions similar to a nuclear winter. Flora and fauna struggled to survive in a drastically changed environment. Some species adapted or managed to survive, but many could not cope with the rapid changes in climate, leading to a mass extinction event. In total, around 75% of all species, including the most iconic dinosaurs, disappeared from the face of the Earth. This catastrophic impact marked a significant turning point in Earth's history. It paved the way for the rise of mammals and ultimately shaped the biodiversity we see today. The extinction of dinosaurs opened up ecological niches that allowed for new forms of life to evolve, leading eventually to the dominance of mammals and the emergence of humans millions of years later. Yes, the history of dinosaurs is quite complex, and some evidence suggests that they were experiencing challenges even before the asteroid impact. Research indicates that during the late Cretaceous period, which was the final era of the dinosaurs, there were notable changes in climate and sea levels. These shifts likely stressed ecosystems and affected food sources. Rising temperatures and fluctuating sea levels led to the loss of habitats, which can put various species at risk. Some dinosaur groups were likely decreasing in numbers as they struggled to adapt to these environmental changes. This gradual decline created a vulnerable situation for many species. However, the impact of the asteroid was a catastrophic event that significantly accelerated their extinction. It brought about dramatic climate shifts, darkened skies for extended periods, and disrupted food chains. The convergence of pre-existing stressors and this sudden devastation created conditions that few dinosaurs could survive. Thus, while some were facing difficulties, the asteroid impact was the ultimate factor in their demise, marking a significant end to the age of dinosaurs. Mass extinction events are often not instant occurrences, rather they unfold over significant stretches of time. For instance, during the infamous event that wiped out the dinosaurs, known as the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, it is believed that the process took several thousand years. This devastation was triggered by a combination of dramatic environmental changes, such as massive volcanic eruptions and a catastrophic impact from an asteroid. The initial moments of the impact would have been explosive and horrifying, causing fires and tsunamis. However, the longer-term consequences involved changes like a dramatic drop in temperatures and disruption of ecosystems, which led to the gradual decline of many species. Research suggests that the effects of such an event could persist for millions of years afterward, showing just how resilient life can be and how long recovery can take. In general, mass extinction events can vary in duration, some spanning several 100,000 years, while others may take millions, depending on factors like the severity of environmental changes and the ability of species to adapt. This slow process highlights how intertwined life on Earth is with its environment and how swiftly a balance can be disrupted. The deadliest volcanic eruption in prehistoric times is believed to be the eruption of Mount Tambora, which occurred in 1815. This eruption had catastrophic consequences, claiming tens of thousands of lives and affecting climate around the globe. To understand its impact, picture a mountain exploding with such force that it sent ash and debris high into the atmosphere. This eruption unleashed a mixture of ash, gas, and volcanic rock that filled the sky, blocking sunlight for an extended period. As a result, temperatures dropped significantly across the world, leading to what is often referred to as the year without a summer in 1816. Crops failed, and food shortages followed, contributing to widespread famine and illness. The region around Mount Tambora, situated on the island of Sumbawa in Indonesia, faced immediate devastation. Thousands of villagers lost their lives due to pyroclastic flows, fast-moving currents of hot gas and volcanic matter that obliterated everything in their path. The eruption itself also generated powerful tsunamis that added to the destruction, particularly impacting coastal communities. This catastrophic event not only reshaped the geography of the region, but also left a lasting mark on history through the social and environmental changes it caused. It serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and how volcanic events can make profound impacts far beyond their initial eruption. An extinction event similar to the one that wiped out the dinosaurs is certainly possible. To understand how this could occur, we must look at the factors that played a role in past extinctions. The most famous event, which took place about 65 million years ago, is believed to have been caused by a massive asteroid impact. This event caused dramatic changes in the planet's climate, obliterating ecosystems and leading to the extinction of roughly 75% of all species at the time. Today, Earth still faces various threats that could potentially lead to another extinction event. For instance, large asteroids and comets still orbit around the Sun, traveling through our solar system. While the chances are small, an impact from one of these celestial bodies could unleash catastrophic consequences, including fires, tsunamis, and prolonged darkness caused by dust clouds blocking sunlight. Additionally, human activity has introduced significant factors that could lead to mass extinction. Climate change, driven by greenhouse gas emissions, is altering weather patterns, raising ocean temperatures, and causing widespread habitat loss. These changes put immense pressure on countless species, and many are struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. Moreover, supervolcano eruptions pose a potential threat. These colossal eruptions can release enormous amounts of ash and gases into the atmosphere, which can drastically lower global temperatures and disrupt ecosystems for years. Such an event could mirror the volcanic activity believed to have contributed to previous extinction events. While the possibility of a new extinction event exists, preventive measures can be taken. Scientific efforts to detect and deflect asteroids, understanding the impacts of climate change, and protecting biodiversity can all help safeguard the planet's ecosystems. Awareness and proactive strategies can shine a light on our path forward, steering us away from paths that lead to mass extinctions. After the asteroid impact that contributed to the extinction of the dinosaurs around 66 million years ago, the effects on plant life were profound. Initially, the impact released an enormous amount of energy, similar to the force of millions of atomic bombs. This resulted in a shockwave that disrupted the environment dramatically. Immediately following the impact, debris and dust were blasted high into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for an extended period. With little sunlight reaching the Earth's surface, many plants, which depend on sunlight to generate energy through a process called photosynthesis, struggled to survive. This sudden darkness led to a cascade of effects across ecosystems. Primary producers, like plants, were hit hardest. Without them, herbivores subsequently faced food shortages. As time progressed, the absence of sunlight caused temperatures to drop, leading to what is often termed a nuclear winter. This harsh climate forced plant life to adapt rapidly or face extinction. In the aftermath, some resilient plant species, particularly those that could thrive in low-light conditions or had developed underground networks, began to sprout again. Eventually, over time, as the dust settled and the skies cleared, new ecosystems emerged. Seed-bearing plants that were capable of surviving in disturbed environments started to recolonize the land. These included ferns and flowering plants, which adapted to reclaim the areas that had once been lush and vibrant. This regrowth paved the way for the diverse plant life we see today, showcasing nature's remarkable resilience and ability to recover from catastrophic events. When the dinosaurs roamed the earth, a vast array of life existed, including small creatures such as mammals, birds, and insects. While the dinosaurs were the dominant species, they were not the only players in this ancient ecosystem. Approximately 65 million years ago, a catastrophic event, likely a massive asteroid impact combined with extensive volcanic activity, led to a dramatic shift in the planet's climate. This event caused significant changes in the environment, resulting in widespread destruction of habitats, dramatic temperature drops, and a collapse of food chains. In contrast to the larger dinosaurs, smaller creatures often had certain advantages that helped them survive. For instance, their size allowed them to find shelter in burrows, crevices, or dense vegetation, effectively shielding them from the harsh conditions and predators. Additionally, small species generally have shorter life cycles and faster reproductive rates. This means they can adapt more quickly to new environments. When the dinosaurs disappeared, many ecological niches opened up, allowing these small creatures to thrive in the reduced competition. This resilience and adaptability meant that the tiny survivors were able to exploit the resources left behind. Over time, they evolved further and filled ecological roles that the dinosaurs once occupied, paving the way for the diverse animal life we see today. While the great dinosaurs faced extinction, these small creatures demonstrated the power of adaptability in the face of catastrophic change. Their survival stories highlight the resilience of nature and the intricate balance of ecosystems. When we think of dinosaurs, we often picture the massive creatures that roamed the earth millions of years ago. However, an intriguing twist emerges when we look closely at the history of life on our planet. While many types of non-avian dinosaurs met their end during a significant extinction event, often attributed to a giant asteroid impact, the lineage of some of these creatures did survive. The birds we see today are direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs, a group that included notable species like the terrifying Tyrannosaurus rex. This means that in a fascinating sense, birds are the living relatives of their dinosaur ancestors, showcasing a remarkable evolutionary transformation over millions of years. After the mass extinction, the world was a vastly different place. Smaller dinosaurs, which could adapt to changing environments, evolved into the diverse range of birds we see now. Thus, while non-avian dinosaurs disappeared, their legacy persisted through avian dinosaurs, demonstrating how life can endure and adapt in the face of colossal change. This survival story is a compelling reminder of the resilience of life on Earth and how it has evolved over time. The fate of dinosaur corpses depended on various environmental conditions after their death. In some cases, dinosaurs might have rotted on the surface of the Earth for a while before anything happened to them. Factors such as the climate, scavengers, and the presence of pathogens would have played a role in how quickly a body decomposed. Warm, humid conditions could speed up decay, allowing tissues to break down relatively fast. However, there are numerous circumstances where dinosaurs ended up being buried quickly. Natural events like floods or volcanic eruptions could rapidly cover the remains with sediment. This quick burial is crucial for fossilization because it protects the bones from scavengers and the elements, allowing them to be preserved over millions of years. When a dinosaur was buried swiftly, it could prevent decay, leading to better chances of fossilization. The layers of sediment that pile on can lead to a situation where minerals seep into the bones, gradually turning them into stone, capturing the ancient life in a rock-like form for future discovery. This duality of possibilities illustrates how both exposure and quick burial were influenced by the surrounding environment, ultimately determining whether a dinosaur would decompose on the surface or be preserved for ages beneath layers of earth. Imagining a post-extinction world brings us face to face with dramatic changes in the environment. If a mass extinction event were to occur, the aftermath would be characterized by extreme conditions. This could include altered climates, disrupted ecosystems, and a scarcity of resources. Humans, being adaptable creatures, have survived through various challenges in history, but survival in such a world would not be guaranteed. In a post-extinction environment, land that once thrived might become barren, while oceans could rise and change salinity levels, affecting marine life. Air quality could decline, leading to respiratory issues, and food scarcity would pose a significant threat. Our ability to find clean water and adequate nourishment would be put to the test. Agriculture, which relies heavily on stable ecosystems, would face tremendous hurdles as soil fertility deteriorates and weather patterns shift unpredictably. However, humans possess remarkable ingenuity. We have the capacity to develop technologies and strategies to adapt and thrive under adverse conditions. This might involve utilizing alternative food sources, such as insects or algae, which can flourish in harsher environments. Additionally, we might embrace advanced technology to purify water or create shelters that protect us from the elements. Still, surviving in such conditions also means confronting social and psychological challenges. Communities would need to unite to tackle resource management and protect each other from potential conflicts over dwindling supplies. Building new social structures and finding ways to foster hope and resilience would be integral to long-term survival. Ultimately, while humans have the potential to navigate a post-extinction world, our success would hinge on our ability to adapt both practically and socially. Embracing innovation, cooperation, and a deep understanding of the new environment would be essential for survival in a dramatically altered world. Dinosaurs evolved massive teeth as a response to their diverse diets and the evolutionary pressures of their environments. In the beginning, dinosaurs were relatively small and had teeth suited for their herbivorous or carnivorous needs. Over millions of years, as they adapted to different food sources and competition, their teeth changed significantly. For herbivorous dinosaurs like the long-necked sauropods, teeth evolved to grind tough plant materials, becoming broad and flat. This adaptation allowed them to consume large quantities of foliage and thrive during periods when vegetation was abundant. Carnivorous dinosaurs like the ferocious Tyrannosaurus rex developed sharp, serrated teeth that were perfect for ripping flesh. These powerful teeth allowed them to grasp their prey firmly and tear it apart, enhancing their chances of survival. Their bite force evolved to become incredibly strong, enabling these dinosaurs to crush bones and consume larger animals. As for the biggest bite ever recorded, that distinction often goes to the Tyrannosaurus rex. The force of its bite was so immense that some scientists estimate it could exceed the pressure of a small car. This incredible strength made T-Rex one of the most formidable predators of its time. The massive jaws not only housed those formidable teeth, but also worked in coordination with powerful jaw muscles, allowing it to deliver a devastating bite capable of breaking through even the toughest materials in its ecosystem. The sails on creatures like Spinosaurus are one of the most striking features of these ancient animals, and they likely served multiple purposes. First, let's visualize the sail itself. It was an elongated structure along the creature's back, composed of elongated neural spines covered by skin. This unique feature would have made Spinosaurus stand out dramatically in its environment. One notable possibility is that the sail played a role in thermoregulation, which is the process by which an animal maintains its body temperature. Imagine the sail acting like a solar panel, absorbing sunlight during the day to help warm the animal. Conversely, it could have helped dissipate heat, particularly when the creature rested in the water. This ability to control body temperature would have been essential for survival, especially in diverse climates. Another intriguing theory is that the sail could have been used for communication or display, similar to how modern animals exhibit bright colors or unique features to attract mates or signal to rivals. The size and shape of the sail might have made Spinosaurus more visually impressive to fellow creatures, both to impress potential mates and to establish dominance over others. Additionally, the sail may have provided some level of hydrodynamic advantage. When Spinosaurus was hunting in water, especially since it is believed to be semi-aquatic, the sail could have helped with balance as it swam, much like the fins on a boat. In conclusion, the sails of Spinosaurus were not merely for show. They likely played essential roles in temperature regulation, communication, and possibly even swimming dynamics, making these fascinating creatures even more adept at surviving in their prehistoric world. Dinosaurs roamed the earth in a variety of shapes and sizes, and some might have had the ability to camouflage, similar to certain animals we see today. Many animals use colors, patterns, or textures to blend in with their surroundings, making them harder for predators to spot. Scientists suggest that some dinosaurs could have had feathers or scales with colors that helped them blend into their environment. For example, a small dinosaur living in a lush green forest might have had green or brown feathers, allowing it to hide among the foliage. This kind of adaptation would have been advantageous for both hiding from predators and sneaking up on prey. The discovery of fossilized skin and feather patterns has provided clues about the colors and textures of some species, indicating they may not have been just dull and gray. These visual features could have changed depending on the environment, much like a chameleon alters its appearance based on its surroundings today. In addition to physical characteristics, some dinosaurs may have used behavioral strategies, such as staying still or choosing specific habitats that offered natural cover, enhancing their ability to remain unseen. All of this hints at the diverse ways these ancient creatures adapted to survive in their ecosystems, very much like the camouflage strategies observed in modern animals. Dinosaurs, like many animals today, had a variety of adaptations to their environments, but they did not possess infrared vision as we understand it. Instead, some dinosaurs likely had excellent night vision, which allowed them to see in low-light conditions. To understand how this might work, consider the eyes of some modern reptiles and birds. Many of these creatures have a high number of rod cells in their retinas, which are responsible for detecting light. Rod cells are more sensitive than cone cells, which help with color vision, making them ideal for seeing in darkness. It's suggested that some nocturnal dinosaurs might have had similar adaptations. Larger eyes and a higher proportion of rod cells would help them capture as much light as possible during the night. This would enable them to navigate, hunt, or avoid predators without relying on bright sunlight. However, there's no evidence to suggest that dinosaurs could see in the infrared spectrum, which is beyond the visible light humans can perceive. Infrared vision is more characteristic of certain modern animals like some snakes, allowing them to detect heat from their prey. While dinosaurs likely had good vision adapted for different times of day, the idea of them seeing in infrared is more fantasy than fact. Dinosaurs were diverse creatures, and some developed impressive adaptations to survive in their environments. The tails of certain dinosaurs served not just for balance and communication, but also as powerful weapons for defense or attack. Take the case of the formidable ankylosaurs, for instance. These dinosaurs had heavy, bony plates covering their bodies for protection. Their tails ended in club-like structures, which they could swing with great force, much like wielding a heavy club. Imagine the strength it would take to make such a swing. A well-timed blow could incapacitate a predator or rival. Similarly, theropods, which included meat-eating dinosaurs like the famous Tyrannosaurus rex, had long, muscular tails that helped them maintain balance while running or turning quickly. While their tails were not weapons in the same way as those of ankylosaurs, they could still deliver powerful strikes. A swift whip of the tail could knock aside small adversaries or disrupt an attacking predator. More specialized dinosaurs, such as the Stegosaurus, sported spiked tails known as thagomisers. These tails were designed to be swung at opponents, delivering sharp, painful blows. This structure was effective for both deterring attackers and defending against rivals. These powerful tails were multifunctional adaptations, allowing dinosaurs to navigate their environments while providing robust means of defense against threats. Their tails were not only impressive appendages, but also crucial survival tools in a world filled with dangers. While the idea of poisonous or venomous dinosaurs captures the imagination, definitive evidence for such creatures remains elusive. However, scientists have speculated about certain species that may have exhibited these traits based on their physical characteristics and behaviors. For example, some paleontologists think that theropod dinosaurs, which include the famous Tyrannosaurus rex, could have had venom similar to modern reptiles. Imagine these carnivorous dinosaurs using a bite that delivered a toxic substance, making their prey weaker and easier to catch. This concept is bolstered by their closely related family members today, such as certain species of snakes and lizards that do have venomous capabilities. Another fascinating possibility lies with certain herbivorous dinosaurs. Some species had sharp defensive features like spikes or horns. It's conceivable that these dinosaurs might have ingested toxic plants, making them poisonous to predators. Instead of being able to eat them, a predator could experience sickness or other negative effects from the encounter. While these are exciting ideas, the hard evidence is scarce, and much remains speculative. Fossilized remains can tell us a lot about the lifestyle and structure of dinosaurs, but the chemical composition and biological functions related to toxins and venom are much harder to uncover from ancient bones. Ongoing research and discoveries may someday provide clearer insight into whether any dinosaurs truly were poisonous or venomous, revealing another layer of their complex and intriguing lives. Dinosaurs with horns, like the well-known Triceratops, likely used their impressive features for both defense and combat. Imagine the horns as tools or weapons that evolved to provide protection against predators and to establish dominance within their species. During conflicts, male dinosaurs might have engaged in head-to-head collisions similar to how modern-day animals like rams do when they butt heads. These horns could have been used to push back an opponent, inflicting damage and proving strength. The bony frills behind the head may have also played a role in these battles, helping to protect vital areas from attacks. Additionally, horned dinosaurs might have used their impressive displays to intimidate rivals or attract mates, showcasing their health and virility. In the vast landscapes where these creatures roamed, combat could be a way to secure territory or resources. The very presence of such formidable horns could deter foes or establish the idea that a particular dinosaur would not be an easy target. Thus, the horns served not only as weapons, but also as signals of power and resilience in a world where survival often depended on strength and strategy. Yes, some dinosaurs were equipped with impressive spikes designed for defense against predators. One of the most notable examples is the Stegosaurus, known for its distinctive plates and spiked tail, often referred to as a thagomizer. This tail was armed with large, bony spikes that could inflict serious damage if swung at an attacking dinosaur. Imagine a powerful club used to fend off attackers, making it a formidable weapon in the hands, or rather the tail, of the Stegosaurus. Another example is the Ankylosaurus, which had thick armor plating covering its body, alongside a tail that ended with a large, bony club. This club was not only for decoration, it could be swung like a weapon, providing effective protection against larger predators that roamed its environment. These adaptations signify how some dinosaurs evolved specific traits, like spikes and hard shields, to survive in a world where they faced constant threats from carnivorous species. The evolution of such distinctive features showcases the dynamic interactions between different species and illustrates the lengths dinosaurs went to in order to protect themselves from danger. The notion of dinosaurs spitting venom, as portrayed in Jurassic Park with the Dilophosaurus, is a captivating idea that combines thrilling imagination with some elements of reality. While the Dilophosaurus, known for its distinctive double crests, is a fascinating dinosaur, there is no solid evidence that it had venom or the ability to spit it. In today's world, certain reptiles, such as some snakes and lizards, do possess venom and can deliver it through their bites or, in a few cases, through other means like spitting. For instance, spitting cobras can project venom toward potential threats, using this ability as a defensive mechanism. However, the specific evolutionary adaptations that allow for venom delivery via spitting are rare. Dinosaurs like the Dilophosaurus were primarily built for hunting and scavenging, using powerful teeth and jaws to capture prey. Their physical characteristics suggest they were more likely to rely on speed and strength rather than venomous attacks. It's essential to remember that our understanding of these ancient creatures is constantly being refined through new fossil discoveries and research. In short, while the concept of venomous dinosaurs is an exciting element of fiction, there is currently no scientific basis for dinosaurs like the Dilophosaurus to have had the ability to spit venom. Instead, they were remarkable creatures that thrived in their environments using other impressive survival strategies. While no dinosaurs were adept at breathing underwater like some modern aquatic animals, certain dinosaurs had unique adaptations that allowed them to spend extended time near or in water. The most notable among these are the sauropods, which were large, long-necked dinosaurs such as Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus. Their massive size often meant they inhabited areas close to lakes and rivers, using their long necks to reach vegetation without needing to fully submerge. Additionally, there were some semi-aquatic theropods like Spinosaurus, which had features adapted for life in water. Spinosaurus possessed a crocodile-like snout and limbs that may have been suitable for swimming. The structure of its body suggests it could have hunted in water, possibly preying on fish and other aquatic creatures. However, unlike fish, Spinosaurus would still have needed air to breathe, taking breaks on land to do so. Though these dinosaurs couldn't breathe underwater, their capabilities allowed them to thrive in habitats that included both land and water. Their adaptations demonstrate an impressive evolution of traits for survival in diverse environments, but fully aquatic respiration wasn't part of their physiological design. Quetzalcoatlus was one of the largest flying creatures ever to roam the skies, with a wingspan that was comparable to the size of a small airplane. Imagine standing next to a giraffe. Quetzalcoatlus would have appeared even taller when it stood on its long legs, towering above most creatures. Its wings stretched wide enough to let it glide effortlessly through the air, using thermals, warm rises of air, to soar without expending much energy. As for hunting humans, while Quetzalcoatlus was indeed a formidable predator, it likely focused on much smaller prey, such as fish, small dinosaurs, or other animals it could easily catch. Its beak was designed for snatching prey from water or the ground, rather than taking down creatures the size of humans. Additionally, the environment it inhabited was vastly different from today's world and would have posed unique challenges for any large predator. Though it's fascinating to imagine such a beast alive today, the reality is that it would likely pursue prey that matched its natural hunting abilities, steering clear of larger, more intelligent animals like humans. In the grand scheme of prehistoric life, humans would have been an unlikely target for a creature evolved to hunt smaller animals. Hatzegopteryx was a formidable predator, and several features contributed to its reputation as an even more terrifying threat compared to Quetzalcoatlus. Both were giant pterosaurs, but Hatzegopteryx had certain physical advantages that stood out. One notable aspect was its impressive size. Hatzegopteryx had a massive wingspan, making it one of the largest flying creatures of its time. Imagine a bird that could overshadow a small car, gliding effortlessly through the sky. This enormous wingspan not only granted it the ability to soar over vast distances, but also made it a striking presence in the air, instilling fear in its prey. Another critical factor was its powerful beak and head. Hatzegopteryx had a stout, heavy beak, which was likely well suited for crushing bones and tearing flesh. Think of it as a natural weapon, adapted for a predatory lifestyle. This heavy beak gave it an edge over prey, allowing it to scavenge or hunt larger animals effectively. Moreover, the environment in which Hatzegopteryx lived played a significant role in its predatory behavior. It thrived in the unique ecosystem of what is now Romania, where it could exploit various food sources, including smaller dinosaurs. This adaptability in its hunting strategy allowed it to dominate its surroundings. Finally, its sheer strength and size made Hatzegopteryx a fearsome competitor against the smaller Quetzalcoatlus, which, while impressive in its own right, may not have been as equipped for direct predation on larger creatures. The combination of these features made Hatzegopteryx a truly terrifying predator in its own right, creating a remarkable chapter in the history of flying reptiles. Pteranodons were fascinating creatures that lived millions of years ago. These large flying reptiles were equipped with long wings and a unique beak that may have aided their hunting methods. Although they are often recognized for their impressive size and wingspan, their hunting strategies were likely tailored to their environment. Pteranodons primarily fed on fish, which they caught while gliding over water. Picture them soaring above a lake or ocean, keenly watching for movement beneath the surface. When they spotted a fish, they would swoop down with incredible grace and precision, using their long beak to snatch their prey from the water. This technique would have allowed them to feed efficiently without needing to dive deeply. As for attacking small dinosaurs, while pteranodons were mainly fish-eaters, it is conceivable that they could have preyed upon smaller, vulnerable terrestrial animals if the opportunity arose. Their anatomical features suggest they were well adapted for both catching fish and potentially snagging smaller prey near the ground. However, direct evidence of pteranodons hunting small dinosaurs is limited. Most of their fossils indicate a lifestyle closely linked with aquatic habitats, highlighting their specialization in catching fish rather than hunting land-dwelling dinosaurs. Holding both the aerial mastery and the versatility to adapt to various food sources, pteranodons illustrate a remarkable example of evolutionary adaptation in the prehistoric world. Pterosaurs were flying reptiles that lived alongside dinosaurs, and some of them had teeth specifically designed for catching and consuming prey. These teeth varied greatly depending on the pterosaur's diet. For example, certain species had long, sharp teeth resembling those of modern-day crocodiles. These teeth were effective for gripping slippery fish and tearing through flesh. Imagine a fishing trip where the goal is to snatch quick-moving fish from the water's surface. A pterosaur with sharp teeth would be well equipped to dive down, catch its meal, and avoid losing it. The sharpness and structure of these teeth allowed these creatures to efficiently process their food, much like how a predator would use its fangs to grip and tear. So, yes, some pterosaurs indeed possessed teeth that were not only sharp, but also formidable enough to tear through flesh, playing a crucial role in their survival and feeding strategies. Their dental design reflects their adaptations to their specific environmental niches, showcasing the incredible diversity that existed in prehistoric ecosystems. The tapejara, a fascinating creature from the age of dinosaurs, sported a distinctive and massive head crest that served multiple purposes. This crest, which resembled a large sail or a prominent horn, was likely an important element in both combat and mating displays. In the context of fighting, the crest could have been used as a form of intimidation. Imagine two male tapejaras coming face to face, their enormous head crests towering over them. The size and shape of the crest would enhance their physical presence, possibly making them appear larger and more formidable to rivals during confrontations. Competitions for territory or mates might have involved displays that showcased the crest, as individuals tried to assert dominance without resorting to actual physical clashes, which could be dangerous. When it came to mating, the head crest would have played a crucial role in attraction. Bright colors and distinctive shapes often signal health and vitality in the animal kingdom, and the tapejara's crest could have served as a visual cue to prospective mates. During courtship rituals, these celebrations might have involved elaborate displays where the males would flaunt their crests, showcasing their beauty and strength. A larger or more colorful crest could suggest better genetic fitness, making a male more appealing to females looking for a partner. So, in both combat and mating, the tapejara's massive head crest functioned as a powerful tool for communication, helping these remarkable flying reptiles navigate social interactions in their vibrant prehistoric world. Pterosaurs were remarkable flying reptiles that lived alongside the dinosaurs. Some species had impressive wingspans, making them some of the largest flying creatures ever. Among these, a few were indeed capable of swooping down to catch sizable prey. Imagine a giant pterosaur with a wingspan comparable to a modern airplane gliding gracefully through the air. Their beaks were often long and sharp, perfectly adapted for snatching fish or small animals. Some pterosaurs, particularly the larger species like Quetzalcoatlus, could have had the strength to capture smaller mammals and perhaps even human-sized animals given the right conditions. These creatures were efficient hunters, using their keen eyesight to spot prey from great heights. Swooping down would involve a combination of skill and speed, allowing them to close in on their target swiftly. This hunting method would be similar to that of some modern birds of prey, which dive towards their targets with precision. However, while it's fascinating to consider the possibility of a pterosaur capturing something as large as a human, it is essential to remember that their behavior and diet were likely focused on smaller, easier-to-manage prey. The idea of such a large creature engaging with humans is an enticing thought, but the reality of their ecosystems suggests they may have preferred simpler meals. The largest flying reptiles, known as pterosaurs, had impressive wingspans that could rival some of today's aircraft. One of the most famous examples is Quetzalcoatlus, which lived during the late Cretaceous period. Its wingspan is estimated to be about the length of a small airplane, measuring up to around 33 feet, which is similar to a two-seater plane found at many regional airfields. To put this in perspective, consider the average small aircraft that can carry people between cities. These planes typically have wingspans in a similar range, allowing them to soar through the sky with relative ease. The enormous wings of Quetzalcoatlus would have enabled it to glide gracefully over the land, much like an airplane catching thermal currents. While the exact details of how these creatures flew remain a subject of research, The comparison to an airplane highlights the scale of these ancient flyers. They inhabited a world where their massive size and specialized anatomy allowed them to dominate the skies, showcasing nature's incredible capacity for adaptation and evolution. Pterosaurs, the remarkable flying reptiles that soared through the skies during the age of the dinosaurs, had various ways to protect themselves from dangers on the ground. Their primary defense was their ability to fly. By simply taking to the air, they could escape many potential threats quickly. Some species were more agile in the air than others, allowing them to evade land predators effectively. In addition to flight, pterosaurs also relied on their size and physical features as mechanisms of defense. Larger pterosaurs could intimidate smaller land predators simply by their presence, making them less appealing targets. Some had sharp beaks and powerful claws, which might have helped in defending themselves if a confrontation occurred. Social behavior played a role too. Many pterosaur species likely traveled in groups, and this collective behavior could help deter predators. When in numbers, it's much harder for an attacker to focus on a single individual, and there's safety in numbers. Lastly, some pterosaurs may have had camouflage or other adaptations that allowed them to blend into their surroundings when resting on land. Such strategies helped them remain unnoticed by predators, enhancing their survival. Overall, through a combination of flight, size, group behavior, and camouflage, pterosaurs had effective means of defending themselves against the threats that lurked below. Flying reptiles, known as pterosaurs, were a diverse group of creatures that soared through the skies during the age of dinosaurs. Some of these reptiles may have hunted at night, much like modern-day bats and certain birds that have adapted to nocturnal lifestyles. The ability to hunt after dark depends largely on their vision and sensory adaptations. To understand if pterosaurs could have hunted at night, we can look at their physical characteristics. Some species had large eye sockets, which could indicate the presence of keen eyesight. In the animal kingdom, larger eyes often correlate with the ability to see better in low light, a common trait among nocturnal species. This suggests that some pterosaurs may have had adaptations for night vision, allowing them to navigate and hunt effectively in the dark. Additionally, certain evidence from fossilized remains shows features that could support this theory. For instance, those with certain characteristics in their skull structure may have been capable of distinguishing shapes and movement even in dim light. Just like how bats use echolocation, pterosaurs could have employed other sensory skills that we are only starting to understand to enhance their hunting abilities after dusk. However, the extent of their nocturnal capabilities remains a topic of research, and not all pterosaur species would have had these adaptations. Some may have hunted during the day, relying on the sunlight to fuel their predatory instincts. Overall, while it is likely that some flying reptiles had the potential to hunt at night, more research and fossil evidence are needed to paint a complete picture of their nocturnal behaviors. Quetzalcoatlus is fascinating not only for its size, but also for the mystery surrounding it. This prehistoric creature, often considered one of the largest flying animals, had a wingspan that can be compared to that of a small airplane. It lived during the late Cretaceous period, soaring through the skies with grace and majesty. However, despite its impressive dimensions, Quetzalcoatlus isn't the final word on the size of prehistoric flying creatures. Current scientific understanding suggests that there were indeed other creatures that might rival or exceed the size of Quetzalcoatlus, although their exact dimensions remain debated among paleontologists. For example, some giant pterosaurs, relatives of Quetzalcoatlus, like Argentinosaurus, are believed to have had comparable or possibly larger wingspans. Argentinosaurus lived in South America millions of years later and could have had wings extending up to the length of a small car. However, comparisons are often complicated by incomplete fossil records and gaps in data. While these massive creatures may command attention, their ecology differed significantly from Quetzalcoatlus. Each had unique adaptations that allowed them to thrive in their respective environments. Therefore, even in the world of giant prehistoric flyers, distinctions among them enhance our understanding of their evolutionary paths. The quest to discover more about these magnificent creatures continues, with each finding contributing to the unfolding story of life on Earth. Dinosaurs roamed the Earth millions of years ago, but evidence suggests they may have suffered from some diseases resembling those we see today. Fossils have provided clues that dinosaurs could have experienced conditions similar to cancer. For example, paleontologists have identified unusual growths in dinosaur bones that share characteristics with modern tumors. This indicates that these prehistoric giants might have faced health challenges reminiscent of those affecting living creatures. As for tuberculosis, research has found signs of infection in the remains of some dinosaurs. Fossils display lesions in bones that reflect patterns consistent with this disease, suggesting that dinosaurs might have battled similar infections. While we can't say for certain they had the exact same disease, their physical ailments reveal that dinosaurs were not immune to serious health issues. Looking deeper into these findings helps us understand that the biological processes behind certain diseases have been part of life for a long time, highlighting the ongoing struggle of living organisms against illness throughout Earth's history. Dinosaurs, just like modern animals, may have had to cope with their own versions of disease and injury, making them more relatable in the vast timeline of life. Dinosaurs, like modern animals, could have been infected by various parasites. These parasites were likely similar to those we see today, including worms, fleas, and ticks. Imagine a tiny organism attaching itself to a dinosaur, feeding off its blood or nutrients. As for specific types of parasitic infections, evidence suggests that some dinosaurs might have been host to intestinal worms. These worms could have lived in the digestive system, consuming what the dinosaur ate and possibly causing harm over time. Fossil evidence of these parasites is quite rare, but some fascinating discoveries have been made. For example, scientists have found preserved remains of feathers with tiny holes that indicate the presence of parasites. These holes resemble the marks left by feather lice, which are similar to the lice we see on birds today. Additionally, fossilized dinosaur bones have been discovered with distinctive lesions that suggest infections, possibly from parasites that invaded their bodies. In some rare instances, scientists have also found fossilized remains of ticks embedded in amber alongside dinosaur remains. These ticks would have fed on the blood of the dinosaur, much like they do with animals today. However, because fossilization is a rare event, finding specific fossils that demonstrate evidence of parasitic infections is still a significant challenge. Therefore, while we have hints about the types of parasites dinosaurs might have faced, many details remain a mystery, waiting to be uncovered through future discoveries. The idea of a single infected bite potentially killing a dinosaur through deadly bacteria presents a fascinating scenario. Dinosaurs, like all living creatures, would have had their own immune systems to defend against infections. The effectiveness of these immune responses would depend on various factors, including the size of the dinosaur, the type of bacteria, and the health of the individual. Imagine a large dinosaur with a powerful immune system. A bite might introduce harmful bacteria found in other animals, but the dinosaur's defenses could often handle such infections. However, in cases where a smaller or weaker dinosaur experienced a serious injury, the introduction of particularly aggressive bacteria could overwhelm its immune system. In low-quality environments like damp, unsanitary places where disease could thrive, the chances of infections becoming deadly increase. If the bacteria were potent and multiplied quickly, they could lead to systemic infections. These infections might not be immediately fatal, but could weaken the dinosaur over time, making it more vulnerable to other issues like starvation or other predators. So, while it's unlikely that a single bite would always be lethal, under specific circumstances, it could certainly lead to death by creating a situation where the dinosaur could no longer fend for itself. This highlights the intricate and sometimes precarious balance of life, even for the largest creatures that roamed our planet millions of years ago. Yes, prehistoric mosquitoes existed, and they have been around since the time of the dinosaurs. These ancient insects were part of a complex ecosystem that thrived millions of years ago. The fossil record shows us that some species of mosquitoes date back over 100 million years, during the late Cretaceous period when dinosaurs roamed the Earth. In terms of carrying diseases, we can consider how mosquitoes work today. These insects act as vectors, meaning they can transmit pathogens from one host to another. While it is important to note that the specific diseases that affect modern animals may not directly correspond to those of the dinosaurs, it is plausible that ancient mosquitoes could have carried diseases affecting dinosaurs. This is because the fundamental biology of how mosquitoes feed and transmit potential pathogens is quite similar across their evolutionary history. If these prehistoric mosquitoes bit dinosaurs, they might have transferred some form of infection, even if those diseases were unique to that era. The overall health of dinosaurs could have been influenced by such infections, contributing to challenges they faced in their environment. While we can't pinpoint specific diseases because the evidence is limited, the potential role of mosquitoes in the prehistoric ecosystem remains an intriguing aspect of our understanding of dinosaur life. Wounds in dinosaurs, like in many living creatures today, had the ability to heal through a natural process. When a dinosaur suffered an injury, the body initiated several key responses to repair itself. First, blood vessels would constrict to minimize blood loss, forming a clot that acted as a barrier against germs. This is similar to how a human might develop a scab. As the healing process advanced, specialized cells moved into the wound site. These cells worked together to generate new tissue and promote regrowth. In some cases, dinosaurs, like modern reptiles, could grow back lost tails or limbs over time. This regeneration indicates that their immune systems were likely well developed to handle recovery from injuries. Regarding infections, while the environment in which dinosaurs lived had bacteria and other microorganisms, their wounds could become infected, much like wounds in today's animals. A lack of antibiotics during that time likely meant that infected wounds could lead to greater health issues. However, dinosaurs may have had some natural defenses, similar to those found in modern animals, potentially making them resilient to infections under certain circumstances. Understanding dinosaur healing reveals a lot about their biology and how they survived in their environments. These processes helped them endure injuries during intense situations, whether from combat, environmental hazards, or accidents, contributing to their ability to thrive on Earth for millions of years. The possibility of dinosaurs suffering from fungal infections generating slow decay is a fascinating idea. Fungi often thrive in warm, humid environments, and some species do attack living tissue. While direct evidence of dinosaurs being afflicted in this manner is hard to find, it's known that fungi play a significant role in ecosystems, even today. Like many animals, dinosaurs were likely susceptible to infections, including those caused by fungi. Certain kinds of fungi can invade the body, breaking down tissues and causing serious illness. The infection process may not have been immediate, allowing creatures to linger for some time while the fungi did their work. In such a scenario, a living dinosaur could become a home for these organisms, suffering slowly as they ate away at its tissues. Paleontologists have found preserved specimens showing signs of disease, but identifying these as fungal infections can be tricky. Fossils reveal wear, trauma, or abnormal growths, yet linking these directly to specific pathogens requires more evidence. Fossils might tell us about the environment dinosaurs lived in, but microbes leave little trace unless conditions are perfect. Understanding how ancient creatures lived and died involves piecing together clues from the fossil record. This ongoing research suggests that while dinosaurs may not have been immune to infectious maladies, including fungi, the exact types and impacts of such diseases continue to be an exciting area of study. The world of dinosaurs was complex, filled with interactions that could have included various forms of sickness, reflecting the intricate web of life that existed millions of years ago. Yes, prehistoric ticks and fleas did exist, and many of them likely fed on dinosaurs. These tiny parasites have been around for millions of years, adapting alongside the creatures of their time. Fossil evidence shows that ticks date back to at least the time of the dinosaurs, and they would have taken advantage of the enormous variety of hosts available, including the dinosaurs themselves. Fleas, too, have a long history, although they are more commonly associated with mammals. Fossils of ancient fleas suggest that they evolved to feast on warm-blooded dinosaurs, which would have provided them with a steady source of nourishment. These parasites are designed to latch onto their hosts, and in the lush environments of the Mesozoic Era, they would have thrived among the rich biodiversity of the time. Feeding on dinosaurs would have helped these parasites grow and reproduce. This interaction highlights the complex relationships that existed in prehistoric ecosystems, where even the smallest creatures played a role in the balance of life. Studying these ancient parasites gives us insight into the dynamics of animal behavior and ecology in a time long before humans walked the earth. The idea of a prehistoric virus potentially wiping out dinosaur species is intriguing and opens up many possibilities about ancient life on Earth. While we know that viruses exist and can cause diseases in many organisms, determining if a specific virus played a role in the extinction of dinosaurs requires careful consideration. Viruses are microscopic agents that can infect cells of living organisms. They replicate by invading healthy cells, using their machinery to create copies. In modern ecosystems, we see how viruses can affect population dynamics, often stunting or even killing certain species. However, the unique characteristics of dinosaurs make it difficult to confirm whether a virus specifically targeted them during their reign. One factor to consider is that many species, including those dinosaurs, relied on large and diverse ecosystems. Changes in climate, the emergence of new species, or shifts in food availability often led to challenges for survival that could have affected their populations. A virus could have been one of many factors contributing to these challenges. If a disease spread rapidly among certain groups, it could have weakened them, making them more vulnerable to other stressors such as climate change or habitat loss. Moreover, fossil evidence does not provide clear indications that a viral outbreak specifically caused the decline of any dinosaur group. Most extinction theories focus on large-scale events, like massive volcanic eruptions or asteroid impacts, which changed climates and habitats dramatically. These events would have had far-reaching effects, leading to rapid shifts in the environment that viruses might have exploited, but they cannot be singularly blamed on any microscopic invader. While a prehistoric virus could hypothetically contribute to the decline of certain species, it remains a small piece of a much larger puzzle. The extinction of dinosaurs was likely the result of a combination of factors rather than the action of a single pathogen. Understanding this balance illustrates the complexity of life and extinction throughout Earth's history. Fossilized dinosaur poop, also known as coprolites, can offer a fascinating window into the lives of these ancient creatures, including insights into their health. Recent studies have suggested that some coprolite samples may contain traces of diseases. When scientists examine these fossilized droppings, they look not just for plant material and bones, which tell us what dinosaurs ate, but also for microscopic structures that indicate illness. One notable finding in some coprolites is the presence of specific types of microorganisms. These microbes could be pathogenic, signifying that the dinosaur may have suffered from an infection. For example, certain parasites, organisms that live on or in a host, may leave their eggs or traces in these fossilized samples. The existence of these parasites does not just indicate dietary habits, but also suggests that dinosaurs had to contend with diseases that affected their health and well-being. Additionally, the structure and composition of some coprolites can provide clues about inflammation or disease. Researchers can identify changes in the patterns of organic material, pointing to something amiss in the dinosaur's digestive system. This analysis offers a glimpse into the challenges these creatures faced, reflecting that disease was part of life even millions of years ago. Ultimately, these findings help paint a fuller picture of the everyday experiences of dinosaurs, revealing a battle against diseases that continued over eons. While the idea of prehistoric fungi controlling the behavior of dinosaurs sounds intriguing, there is no scientific evidence to suggest that such fungi existed. However, we do know that fungi have developed complex relationships with their environments for millions of years. Even today, certain types of fungi, like the well-known cordyceps, can infect insects and manipulate their actions. This process creates a fascinating interplay between host and fungus, often leading to what can appear to be zombification. During the age of dinosaurs, the ecosystem was rich and diverse, supporting a wide array of life forms, including fungi. These fungi likely played critical roles in breaking down organic matter and enriching the soil, but manipulating dinosaur behavior like some contemporary fungi do with insects remains purely speculative. It's worth noting that the notion of fungi controlling larger animals is a dramatic example of nature's complexity, but hasn't been observed in the fossil record concerning dinosaurs. This leaves much to the imagination, allowing us to wonder about the potential interactions in prehistoric ecosystems. Nonetheless, the fascinating world of fungi continues to inspire many questions about their ancient roles in nature, even if their ability to control the minds of dinosaurs is not one of them. When we talk about the smartest dinosaurs, the spotlight often falls on the theropods, particularly the velociraptor and the trudon. These small, bird-like dinosaurs exhibited traits that suggest a higher level of intelligence compared to their peers. Fossils of Troodon reveal a brain structure that was relatively large for its body size, indicating that it had the capacity for complex behaviors and problem-solving skills. To understand their intelligence, we can think of it in terms of adaptability and social behavior. Troodons likely had keen senses and the ability to hunt in packs, much like some birds do today. This suggests they were not just instinctual creatures, but could make decisions based on their environment and potentially communicate with one another. However, comparing their intelligence directly to modern animals can be tricky. Today's smartest creatures, such as dolphins and certain species of primates, possess advanced cognitive functions, including the ability to use tools, engage in complex social interactions, and even understand abstract concepts. While Troodon and its relatives might have shown advanced behavior for their time, their cognitive abilities likely didn't quite reach the levels we see in some current animals. While certain dinosaurs had the potential to exhibit intelligent behaviors, they existed in a vastly different ecological landscape, and their intelligence may have been significant for their time, but would not likely rival the cognitive capabilities of today's most intelligent creatures. Dinosaurs, long before the rise of birds and mammals, showcased a variety of behaviors that hint at problem-solving abilities. Although we often associate intelligence with animals like crows and primates today, certain dinosaur fossils provide clues that suggest some species were quite clever in their own right. Take the theropods, for example, a group that includes the well-known Tyrannosaurus rex and the smaller, feathered dinosaurs closely related to modern birds. Evidence from fossilized footprints and nesting sites suggest these creatures may have engaged in complex social behaviors. Some dinosaurs might have used teamwork to hunt effectively, sharing the responsibilities among group members, which indicates a level of strategic thinking. Moreover, discoveries about nesting behaviors show that some dinosaurs could care for their young, protecting them from predators. This kind of parental care requires an understanding of their environment and the challenges it posed, suggesting they possessed a certain degree of problem-solving skills. While we may not be able to directly compare the intelligence of dinosaurs to that of today's crows or primates, the behavioral evidence suggests that at least some dinosaurs were capable of learning and adapting in ways similar to these modern animals. As we continue to uncover more fossils and study their contexts, our understanding of their mental capabilities may grow, revealing even more about the fascinating lives of these prehistoric creatures. Velociraptors were not just fierce hunters, they were also clever strategists in their pursuit of prey. Imagine a small but intelligent predator using the element of surprise to gain an advantage. Fossil evidence suggests that they were likely social animals, hunting in packs. This teamwork would allow them to set up ambushes, waiting silently in the undergrowth while their prey wandered by, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Their keen senses would have played a crucial role in this hunting method. With good eyesight and potentially excellent hearing, velociraptors could detect movements and sounds from a distance. Once they spotted an unsuspecting animal, they could coordinate an attack, distracting it from the presence of others. This tactic multiplies their chances of success and reduces the risk of injuries, making ambush hunting an effective strategy. The landscape of their environment added another layer to their hunting strategy. With dense foliage and various terrains, velociraptors could conceal themselves while navigating different settings, using nature to their advantage. This capability highlights their adaptability and intelligence, which allowed them to hunt more effectively than relying solely on speed or brute strength. It is entirely feasible that velociraptors employed ambush tactics to outsmart their prey, showcasing not just their physical attributes, but also their cunning and social behaviors in the quest for survival. While the idea of dinosaurs using tools may seem surprising, evidence suggests that some of these ancient creatures exhibited behaviors that hint at a level of intelligence more complex than previously believed. Birds, which are direct descendants of certain dinosaurs, have been observed using tools in nature. For instance, some birds will drop hard-shelled nuts onto hard surfaces to crack them open or use sticks to extract insects from tree bark. In the case of dinosaurs, researchers have examined fossil evidence and studied the skull anatomy of certain species, suggesting that their brain structure may have allowed for problem-solving skills. Some theropod dinosaurs, like the velociraptor, showed a degree of dexterity that could have enabled them to manipulate their environment, much like how some birds use their beaks and feet. Though we may not find definitive evidence proving that dinosaurs crafted complex tools, these insights indicate that certain dinosaurs likely possessed the cognitive ability to interact with their surroundings in meaningful ways. Such behaviors might have included using objects found in their environment for various purposes, which is a foundational aspect of tool use. Thus, while dinosaurs may not have used tools in the same sophisticated manner as humans or some modern birds, they certainly displayed signs of intelligent interaction with their world. Dinosaurs had complex behaviors that suggest they might have had some ability to recognize each other, similar to modern animals like elephants. While we cannot observe dinosaur interactions directly, scientists study the fossil record and compare it with the behaviors of living relatives, such as birds and reptiles, to draw conclusions. Research shows that some dinosaur species likely lived in social groups. Being social animals often means they need to recognize one another. For instance, certain dinosaur fossils found in large groups imply they may have formed herds, which generally works better when individuals can identify friends or family. Memory plays a crucial role in this recognition. Animals that remember past encounters can navigate social structures more effectively. Elephants, known for their remarkable memory, can recognize each other even after long separations. It is reasonable to think that some dinosaurs might have had similar capabilities, especially the larger, more social species. Anatomy also provides clues. Brain size and structure can hint at how complex an animal's behavior might have been. Some dinosaur species had relatively large brains compared to their body size, which suggests they could have processed social information similarly to modern mammals. Therefore, while we cannot say for certain that dinosaurs recognized each other by memory just like elephants, the evidence suggests that they may have had the capacity for social recognition and memory-based interactions within their communities. Dinosaurs lived millions of years ago, long before humans existed, so we can only speculate about their methods of communication. Most scientists believe that they used a combination of sounds, body language, and possibly even colors. The fossilized remains of certain dinosaurs hint at their vocal capabilities. Some had structures similar to modern birds, which suggests they could produce a range of sounds. Imagine the various sounds that modern animals make to express different feelings, like the warning call of a bird or the roar of a lion. Dinosaurs might have communicated in much the same way. They could have created deep rumbling calls or higher-pitched vocalizations to express alarm, attract mates, or socialize with others in their group. Researchers have found that some large dinosaurs, like the long-necked ones, might have used low-frequency sounds that could travel over long distances, allowing them to communicate across vast areas. Meanwhile, smaller dinosaurs could have used faster, sharper sounds. Although we cannot be certain about the complexity of their sounds, it's plausible that dinosaurs had a primitive form of language, using their vocalizations to convey basic ideas and emotions. Their methods of communication would have evolved according to their social structures and environmental needs, much like animals of today. So while they might not have spoken like humans do, they certainly had their own ways of interacting, full of meaning and purpose. The idea of teamwork among dinosaurs is fascinating and has sparked much interest among scientists. While we know that many modern animals demonstrate cooperation, understanding how dinosaurs might have worked together requires careful analysis of their behavior and social structures. Some dinosaur species likely showed early forms of teamwork, especially those that lived in groups, like the large herbivorous dinosaurs known as hadrosaurs. Evidence suggests that these dinosaurs may have gathered in herds for protection against predators. Being in a group could have provided them with safety in numbers, making it harder for individual predators to attack. Herd behavior is often seen in today's animals, and it seems likely that some dinosaurs experienced something similar. Predatory dinosaurs, such as the famed velociraptors, might also have coordinated their attacks. Fossil evidence indicates that some of these dinosaurs lived and hunted in packs. Coordinated hunting tactics, such as encircling prey or driving them towards other members of the pack, would increase their chances of a successful hunt. This behavior requires a level of social interaction and possibly communication, indicating that they could understand and respond to one another's actions and signals. While we cannot confirm the extent of these behaviors definitively, the fossil record and observations of modern animals suggest that some dinosaurs likely engaged in primitive forms of teamwork. This interaction not only shows a deeper understanding of their environment, but also hints at the complex social structures that may have existed in the dinosaur world. Overall, cooperation among dinosaurs likely helped them survive in a challenging prehistoric landscape. The concept of self-awareness is complex and difficult to measure, especially when considering dinosaurs, animals that lived millions of years ago. In today's world, self-awareness is often tested using specific behaviors, for example, the ability to recognize oneself in a mirror. While certain modern animals like great apes, dolphins, and elephants have shown signs of this capability, we have limited direct evidence regarding the cognitive abilities of dinosaurs. However, research has uncovered fascinating aspects of dinosaur behavior. Some species, particularly smaller theropods or their relatives, exhibited signs of social interaction and problem-solving skills. The discovery of fossilized footprints suggests that some dinosaurs moved in coordinated groups, which may imply a form of social awareness. Furthermore, certain fossils indicate that some dinosaurs cared for their young, showcasing a level of emotional intelligence and social structure. That said, inferring self-awareness from these behaviors remains speculative. Dinosaurs thrived in a wide range of environments, adapting their behaviors for survival. Their intelligence varied depending on the species, and while it is intriguing to ponder the cognitive lives of these amazing creatures, conclusive evidence of self-awareness, in the sense we understand it today, has not been definitively established. Instead, they left behind a legacy of remarkable adaptations that hint at sophisticated lives in a world now long gone. The idea of highly intelligent dinosaurs evolving into advanced beings is a fascinating scenario. Dinosaurs roamed the Earth for about 175 million years, a vast amount of time for evolution to take place. Some species, like the theropods, which include the ancestors of birds, exhibited social behaviors, complex hunting strategies, and possibly even forms of communication. If dinosaurs had continued to thrive without the massive extinction event that occurred around 66 million years ago, they might have developed more advanced cognitive abilities over time. This evolution could have led to the development of tools, social structures, and possibly early forms of culture. Intelligence in animals often leads to adaptations that help them survive and thrive in their environments. If dinosaurs had gained higher intelligence, they may have explored their surroundings, learned from experiences, and even started manipulating materials to create shelters or tools. This could have set the stage for a civilization tailored to their unique biology, different from ours, but advanced in its own right. However, the path of evolution is unpredictable. Environmental changes, competition, and varying survival strategies would have played significant roles in shaping their evolution. Thus, whether they would have developed a society comparable to humans remains a captivating question, but one that ultimately falls into the realm of speculation. The story of intelligent dinosaurs invites us to imagine what might have been in a world where they continued to flourish. The brain size of raptors, which are birds of prey like hawks and eagles, is quite fascinating when compared to that of mammals. Generally, birds have a smaller brain relative to their body size than most mammals. However, raptors are exceptional within the avian world. They possess large brains considering their size, specifically geared towards keen eyesight and complex hunting behavior. Their brains have remarkable adaptations that enhance visual processing, allowing them to spot prey from great distances. In contrast, mammals often rely on different sensory adaptations, with brains designed for a variety of functions including advanced problem-solving and social interaction. To illustrate this difference, think of a raptor's brain as being highly specialized for tasks that ensure survival during hunting. In comparison, a mammal's brain might be larger in proportion to its body, accommodating a broader array of functions, from emotional responses to intricate social structures. While raptors are brainy hunters of the sky, mammals have cultivated their intelligence through diverse methods that involve different kinds of problem-solving and socializing. So, while raptors may have smaller brains when viewed next to mammalian species, their capacity for certain types of intelligence is specifically tailored to thrive in their environments. This difference reflects the unique evolutionary paths that birds and mammals have taken, each adapting their neurological structures to meet their specific needs of survival. Dinosaurs, like any other land animals, could indeed drown. Drowning occurs when an animal finds itself unable to breathe due to being submerged in water. While many dinosaurs were primarily terrestrial creatures, some species were well adapted to aquatic environments or spent time near water. If a dinosaur found itself in deeper water than it could navigate or became trapped during a flood, it could certainly drown. Fossils can tell us a great deal about the lives of ancient creatures, including instances of drowning. Paleontologists have discovered fossils in situations that suggest that the animals perished during flooding events or sudden ecological changes. For instance, some dinosaur fossils have been found in sedimentary layers that indicate rapid burial by water, which might suggest that the animal was caught in a deluge, unable to reach safety. These fossilized remains can tell a story. They reveal details such as how dinosaurs lived in relation to their environments, how they interacted with other species, and even clues about sudden natural disasters that could have impacted their populations. While we cannot witness the actual moments of drowning, the evidence within the rocks allows scientists to piece together these remarkable events from the distant past. Dinosaurs lived during a time when natural disasters happened frequently, just as they do today. When we think of these great creatures, we often picture them roaming vast landscapes, but they were also vulnerable to the forces of nature. Events like volcanic eruptions, massive floods, and sudden landslides could cause catastrophic changes to their environment. When a volcanic eruption occurred, for example, it could blanket the area in thick ash and molten rock. Many of these prehistoric giants could have been unable to escape in time, leading to rapid burial. Similarly, a sudden flood would sweep across the land, covering everything in its path. Dinosaurs caught in these tumultuous conditions could become trapped beneath layers of sediment and debris very quickly. Another scenario involves landslides. As the earth shifts and breaks free, it can create a wave of dirt and rock that engulfs everything in its path. In these dramatic moments, dinosaurs might have been buried alive without any chance of escape. What makes these occurrences particularly fascinating is how they contribute to the fossilization process. When dinosaurs were buried under these layers, it helped preserve their remains for millions of years. This is why today we find fossils that reveal much about their biology, behavior, and the world they inhabited. Thus, natural disasters played a significant role in their existence and ultimately in how they are remembered today. Dinosaurs existed millions of years ago, thriving in environments where they faced numerous challenges. Among the threats they encountered were fierce predators, environmental hazards, and the general struggles of survival. In such a world, injuries could be not just painful, but utterly devastating. One of the most excruciating injuries a dinosaur might suffer would be the loss of a limb. Imagine a massive dinosaur, equipped with powerful legs, unable to run or defend itself after losing an appendage to a predator or a fall. This would not only create intense physical pain, but also expose the dinosaur to starvation, as it would have difficulty finding food and escaping danger. Another severe injury could occur from bites or puncture wounds inflicted by predators. Sharp teeth could tear through muscle and skin, causing substantial bleeding and exposing the dinosaur to infections. These injuries would have been agony, especially when considering that many dinosaurs lived without the benefit of modern healing. Fossils have indicated that some dinosaurs could experience severe fractures from falls or collisions with other dinosaurs, especially those that were large and heavy. A broken bone could become a life-threatening injury if it restricted movement or resulted in complications like infection. In addition, severe environmental injuries, such as those sustained during catastrophes like volcanic eruptions or floods, could lead to painful burns or lacerations. The aftermath of such disasters would create a living hell as dinosaurs struggled to survive against nature while battling their injuries. Lastly, injuries sustained during mating displays or fights could also be profound. Many dinosaurs displayed aggressive behaviors to compete for mates, and these confrontations could end in severe bites or gashes. The pain from these injuries would not only be immediate, but could also lead to long-term health issues, affecting mobility and survival. In the harsh world of dinosaurs, the combination of physical injuries and the need to continue the struggle for survival made their existence fraught with peril and pain. Each injury could have haunted them, both physically and mentally, shaping their behaviors in ways we can only ponder now. For dinosaurs, a broken leg could pose serious risks, potentially leading to life-threatening consequences. Imagine living in a world where survival requires constant movement for finding food and escaping predators. A dinosaur with a broken leg would struggle to walk, run, or even escape danger, making it an easy target in its environment. Healing from such an injury would have been extremely challenging. Unlike modern animals that often receive medical care, dinosaurs had to rely solely on their natural abilities. If they couldn't find food due to their injury, starvation could follow. Additionally, a broken leg would limit their ability to engage in essential behaviors like mating or establishing territory, both critical for reproduction and survival. Wounds in nature can also lead to infections. With significantly less medical understanding and resources, any injury that worsened could prove fatal. Thus, while not every dinosaur with a broken leg would meet a grim fate, the overall challenges associated with such an injury could significantly increase the risk of death in a harsh prehistoric landscape. In their world, a simple break could mean the difference between life and death. While scientists have not found direct evidence that dinosaurs died in agony in the way we might imagine it, certain discoveries paint a vivid picture of their last moments. Fossils often reveal information about how creatures lived and died. In some cases, paleontologists have uncovered dinosaur skeletons that display signs of injury or disease, suggesting that these animals faced suffering during their final days. For example, there are skeletal remains that show healed wounds from battles or predation. This indicates that dinosaurs experienced pain and hardship while grappling with injuries. Additionally, fossilized footprints can reveal behaviors that suggest distress, such as sudden movements fleeing from danger or bunching together in groups, hinting at panic. Some theories suggest that climate change, volcanic eruptions, or asteroid impacts led to rapid environmental changes that could have caused widespread suffering among dinosaurs. When such dramatic events transpire, food and water sources diminish, leading to starvation and stress, which might have caused both physical pain and suffering on a massive scale. However, it's crucial to note that while this information gives us clues about the challenges dinosaurs faced, it does not provide definitive evidence of their emotional experiences or whether they felt pain in the way humans do. The interpretation of suffering is complex and relies heavily on our understanding of modern animals and how they may relate to their prehistoric relatives. Ultimately, the story of how dinosaurs met their end is still unfolding through ongoing research and discoveries. Dinosaurs were fascinating creatures with many adaptations, and their ability to cope with injuries is an intriguing part of their biology. As with modern reptiles and birds, dinosaurs likely had some form of blood-clotting mechanism. Just like these animals today, if a dinosaur sustained an injury, its body would probably initiate a process to stop the bleeding. Blood clotting works through platelets, tiny cells that gather at the site of injury, forming a plug to block the wound. Then, a series of proteins in the blood work together to create a sort of mesh that stabilizes this plug. This process is crucial for minimizing blood loss and facilitating healing. Dinosaurs' large size and often active lifestyles would have made such adaptations essential for survival. If they bled rapidly, it could lead to serious consequences, such as shock or death from blood loss, especially after an encounter with predators or even during natural accidents. Moreover, the environment of the Mesozoic era, full of flora and fauna, would have posed risks for injuries. This means that effective blood clotting would have been vital, allowing dinosaurs to recover from wounds and continue thriving in their habitats. So, while it's possible that larger wounds could lead to significant blood loss, dinosaurs likely had some biological defenses in place to prevent them from bleeding out quickly. These adaptations would have played a critical role in their survival and evolution during their reign on Earth. The idea of a dinosaur stampede where large groups of dinosaurs raced together is a fascinating concept. Evidence suggests that such events did occur in prehistoric times, often driven by environmental pressures like predators or natural disasters. These stampedes could easily lead to chaos and mass panic among the creatures. Paleontologists have discovered fossils in certain locations that show groups of dinosaur footprints preserved close together. When examining these footprints, scientists can see patterns indicating rapid movement, which suggests an escape from danger. In some cases, the terrain may have been hazardous, leading to injuries or death as dinosaurs trampled over one another or fell into natural traps like muddy areas, pits, or rivers. In today's world, we know that when animals encounter significant threats, their instinctual reactions can lead to frantic flights. Dinosaurs likely acted similarly. A stampede caused by fear or a sudden environmental change could have led to numerous fatalities, especially among younger, weaker animals. The mass deaths found in fossil records often point to events where many dinosaurs met their end at the same time, possibly as a result of such overwhelming circumstances. In addition, researchers also look at fossilized bone beds, places where large numbers of dinosaurs were buried in the same location, to gain further insight. These findings appear to align with the idea that they may have faced threats together in panic, leading to tragic consequences for many individuals in those groups. The decline of certain dinosaur species can be linked to the spread of diseases, influenced by several interconnected factors. In the vast, lush environments of the Mesozoic era, dinosaurs thrived alongside numerous plants and other animals. However, as the population of these magnificent creatures grew, so did the chances for diseases to spread among them. Imagine a world where herds of large dinosaurs roamed. When one individual became sick, its close encounters with others allowed pathogens to transfer easily from one creature to another. Many diseases thrive in crowded environments, where constant contact creates ample opportunities for infection. For dinosaurs, being part of a large group meant that ailments could spread quickly, especially when new generations joined the ranks. Climate change also played a crucial role in this scenario. Shifts in the Earth's climate can stress ecosystems and alter food sources. When conditions change drastically, dinosaurs might have struggled to find their required food, weakening their immune systems. A compromised immune system makes any species more susceptible to illness. Therefore, as the environment changed, those weakened dinosaurs had a harder battle against infections. Additionally, the potential for new diseases emerges as species adapt and evolve. This process could lead to scenarios in which dinosaurs encountered pathogens they had never before encountered, leaving them unprepared to fight off these new threats. Isolation and small population sizes among certain groups could further exacerbate this vulnerability, preventing those individuals from building immunity against the rapidly spreading diseases. Over time, these factors combined, the dense populations, environmental stresses, and the introduction of new pathogens, set the stage for a slow decline in certain dinosaur species. While predation and habitat destruction are often the focus, disease underscored the complex web of challenges these creatures faced, slowly contributing to the extinction of some species in a harsh and changing world. Picture a world bustling with life as dinosaurs roamed vast landscapes. It's about 66 million years ago, and the planet is filled with a rich variety of species. Now, imagine the calm of that day suddenly shattered as a massive asteroid, traveling at an incredible speed, enters the atmosphere. The sky might have been lit with an intense flash of light as the asteroid streaks through, heading towards what we now know as the Yucatan Peninsula. As the asteroid collides with Earth, it unleashes unimaginable energy, several billion times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The impact generates shockwaves that rip through the ground, causing massive earthquakes. Flashes of light fill the air, and a colossal fireball surges outward, igniting everything in its path. Forests are burned in an instant, and the ecosystem begins to change rapidly. The immense force of this event sends dust, debris, and vaporized rock high into the atmosphere. This material circulates around the globe, blocking sunlight for months or even longer. Without sunlight, plants struggle to survive, decimating the food chain. Dinosaurs, primarily herbivores, face immediate starvation as their habitats are transformed into barren landscapes. Even the swiftest predators find it hard to locate prey. In these final moments, many dinosaurs would experience panic and confusion as their environments crumble. The air becomes thick with soot and ash, and temperatures plunge in a phenomenon called a nuclear winter. Species that once thrived are suddenly thrown into a desperate fight for survival. Yet as time passes without food, their fate becomes sealed. This catastrophic event leads to the extinction of nearly 3/4 of Earth's species, including most dinosaurs. It's a poignant reminder of the delicate balance of life on our planet, a singular moment when an asteroid not only changed the course of life for dinosaurs, but shaped the future of life itself. The evidence of this dramatic ending is inscribed in layers of rock, marking the end of the age of dinosaurs and the beginning of a new era on Earth. Volcanic gases have the potential to cause severe consequences in their immediate environment, posing a serious threat to any living creatures nearby, including dinosaurs. When a volcano erupts, it releases a mix of gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. These gases can be very harmful in different ways. Imagine a massive eruption sending clouds of these gases high into the atmosphere. As the gases settle back down, they can create an atmosphere thick with toxic vapors. Carbon dioxide in particular is heavier than air. It can accumulate in low-lying areas, displacing the oxygen that dinosaurs and other animals desperately need to survive. In an enclosed space or a valley, the effects could be even more devastating. Dinosaurs could find themselves in an area where breathable air has been pushed out, leaving them gasping for oxygen. Additionally, sulfur dioxide can contribute to acid rain, which can further affect the environment and food sources, creating a cascading effect that can lead to widespread stress on ecosystems. While there isn't direct evidence that volcanic gases suffocated entire herds of dinosaurs, it is plausible that a large volcanic eruption could significantly disrupt their habitats and threaten their survival. The lethal combination of suffocating gases and environmental changes could have dire implications for these ancient creatures. The dinosaur known to have the strongest bite force in history is the Tyrannosaurus rex, often affectionately called T-Rex. This colossal predator from the late Cretaceous period had an enormous skull equipped with powerful jaws. The structure of its teeth resembled those of a modern alligator, designed to crush bone and tear flesh. To understand how powerful T-Rex's bite was, imagine the force produced by its massive muscles that anchored its jaws. When it closed its mouth, the pressure generated was enough to bite through the bones of other large dinosaurs. Experts estimate that its bite might have been strong enough to exceed the strength of any living land predator. What makes this bite force particularly fascinating is not just the sheer strength, but also its adaptation to the T-Rex's eating habits. With such a powerful bite, this dinosaur could easily dispatch large prey, making it an effective hunter. Its ability to consume almost anything it could catch played a vital role in its success as a top predator in its environment. The Tyrannosaurus rex was a powerful predator, renowned for its incredible bite force. Its strong jaws, equipped with large serrated teeth, were capable of snapping down with extraordinary pressure. Estimates suggest that a T-Rex could exert enough force to crush bone in a single bite, making it one of the most formidable hunters of its time. This ability allowed it to consume not just soft flesh, but the hard, mineral-rich bones of its prey, providing essential nutrients. Crocodiles, modern-day relatives of dinosaurs, also possess an impressive bite. Their jaws are designed for gripping and crushing, capable of applying immense pressure to both prey and tough materials. However, crocodiles often employ a different technique. When they capture prey, they tend to hold on tightly and use a rolling motion to tear apart flesh. While their bite is highly effective and can break bones, the specific pressure they apply varies based on their feeding habits. Both T-Rex and crocodiles have evolved to utilize their powerful bites in ways that suit their environments and hunting styles. T-Rex had a strong preference for crushing bones, which gave it an edge in extracting nutrients from its surroundings, while crocodiles balanced their bite force with their method of consumption to maximize efficiency. Through millions of years of evolution, both have refined their abilities to become efficient predators in their respective eras. Sauropods, the massive long-necked dinosaurs, had several strategies to defend themselves against predators. Their sheer size was one of their primary defenses. Being among the largest land animals to ever exist, many sauropods could easily outweigh potential threats. This size made them intimidating and difficult for most predators to tackle. Additionally, sauropods had strong, muscular tails that they could swing with considerable force. This tail could act as a powerful weapon, striking a predator hard enough to deter an attack. Some species even had bony spikes or clubs at the end of their tails, adding an extra layer of defense. Another effective strategy was their social behavior. Many sauropods likely traveled in herds. This group dynamic provided safety in numbers, making it challenging for predators to isolate an individual. When threatened, they could move together, confusing attackers and making it easier to fend off threats by surrounding a vulnerable member of the group. Head position also played a role in defense. Their long necks allowed them to reach higher foliage, but they could also lower their heads to survey their surroundings. This unique ability kept them vigilant against potential dangers. Their size and ability to survey their environment made them less likely to surprise a predator. Lastly, different sauropod species inhabited various ecosystems, which meant that their defenses could also be adapted to specific threats in their environment. Together, these features helped sauropods survive in a world filled with formidable hunters. To imagine an encounter between Argentinosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex, we need to picture the vast differences in their sizes and habitats. Argentinosaurus was one of the largest dinosaurs ever, standing about as tall as a multi-story building and stretching as long as several school buses lined up. This colossal herbivore likely weighed as much as a dozen elephants. In contrast, T. rex, though formidable with its powerful jaws and sharp teeth, was much smaller in comparison. Now, let's consider the idea of a prehistoric showdown. If an Argentinosaurus were to stomp down, the sheer weight and size of its foot could be incredibly devastating. The force generated by such a massive creature could certainly cause serious harm to any animal caught beneath it, including a T. rex. However, it's important to note that these two dinosaurs lived in different times and environments, so they wouldn't have encountered each other in reality. Argentinosaurus roamed the Earth during the late Cretaceous period, while T. rex came along a bit later. Additionally, Argentinosaurs typically moved in herds, which could have provided them with safety in numbers, whereas T. rex was a solitary hunter. While an Argentinosaurus does have the potential to cause fatal damage to a T. rex with a single step due to its massive size, the two never existed at the same time in history, making this scenario more of an interesting thought experiment than a reality. The most destructive dinosaur tail ever discovered belongs to a species known as the Ankylosaurus. This dinosaur was a remarkable bodybuilder of its time, characterized by its heavily armored body and a powerful tail club. Imagine a creature more than 20 feet long, covered in bony plates and spikes, and capable of swinging its tail like a battering ram. The tail club of the Ankylosaurus was not just for show, it was a formidable weapon. When it swung, it could deliver a bone-crushing impact to predators, making it a key player in defense against attacks. Paleontologists believe that the tail could exert tremendous force, enough to break bones, deterring even the fiercest of enemies such as large carnivorous dinosaurs. Interestingly, the fossils of these tails allow scientists to study the strength and structure of their bones, providing insights into how these creatures may have used their deadly appendages. This adaptability helped ankylosaurs survive in a world filled with dangers, showcasing the remarkable evolution of defensive strategies in the dinosaur kingdom. The Ankylosaurus tail stands out not only for its destructive potential, but also for its critical role in the survival of this extraordinary dinosaur. Dinosaurs were some of the largest creatures to ever walk the earth, and their size played a significant role in how they interacted with each other. Imagine stepping into a vast arena where one creature towers over its rivals, casting a giant shadow. For many dinosaurs, being large was not just about physical presence. It provided advantages in both intimidation and combat. When faced with rivals or threats, a large dinosaur could instantly dominate the scene. Its sheer size could intimidate smaller or equally sized opponents, potentially causing them to flee or back down without a fight. This display of power was often enough to assert dominance and establish territory. In nature, showing strength can be just as effective as physical confrontations. In terms of physical confrontations, size also provided considerable advantages. Larger dinosaurs could utilize their weight and strength during battles. A hefty dinosaur could charge towards an adversary, using its body as a massive battering ram. This force could knock down opponents or injure them severely. Smaller dinosaurs might struggle to match that power in a head-on clash, leaving them vulnerable. Additionally, size was not just about brute strength. Some dinosaurs were equipped with formidable weapons like sharp claws or strong jaws. For instance, the enormous predators had teeth designed to tear into flesh. In a confrontation, these features, combined with size, would amplify the threat they posed to rivals, ensuring that even a moment of hesitation could lead to a fatal mistake. Size acted as a dual weapon for dinosaurs. It served as a deterrent and as an advantage in combat. The ability to inspire fear and engage in fierce battles often determined survival and mating rights in the prehistoric world, illustrating the powerful role that size played in their existence. In the world of dinosaurs, strength played a significant role in survival and dominance. While no single dinosaur was specifically known for flipping another dinosaur, many large herbivores and carnivores possessed incredible strength that would allow them to easily overpower or manipulate the size and body of their competition. For instance, the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs, boasted powerful jaws and strong limbs. With its immense size, comparable to that of a small bus, it could potentially overpower smaller prey or competitors. Interestingly, some researchers believe that T-Rex had the ability to both bite down with tremendous force and use its body weight to knock down or flip smaller dinosaurs during confrontations. Among the massive plant eaters, the herbivorous dinosaurs like Triceratops had robust bodies with strong legs and heavy horns. In a confrontation, the sheer mass and strength of a Triceratops could allow it to push or shove other dinosaurs if it felt threatened. These animals communicated and defended themselves often through displays of strength. While we may not have definitive evidence of dinosaurs flipping one another over, it is clear that many possessed the strength to engage in fierce battles. Nature often displays power dynamics, and these ancient creatures certainly had their ways of establishing dominance over one another. Imagine a dinosaur faced with a tremendous threat, a clubbed tail swinging with immense force. Such a weapon, akin to a modern-day mace, would have impacted anything it hit with devastating power. Dinosaurs that roamed the earth had various sizes and strengths, but the sheer force of a strike from a large dinosaur like an Ankylosaurus, known for its heavily armored body and massive clubbed tail, would be crushing. The anatomy of a dinosaur plays a crucial role in its chances of survival. Larger, more robust dinosaurs would have a better chance of withstanding such an impact due to their thicker bones and heavy structures. They could absorb some of the shock. However, even the mightiest among them might not be able to escape unscathed. A direct hit could easily break bones or internal organs regardless of size. Moreover, the vulnerable spots, like the head or limbs, would be particularly susceptible to injury. Techniques of survival would also depend on the dinosaur's behavior. Michael, the Tyrannosaurus rex, for instance, might have employed speed and agility to evade such attacks, while a slower, bulky Stegosaurus might have struggled to dodge. In reality, while some dinosaur species may have had a chance to survive a glancing blow, surviving a direct hit from a clubbed tail would likely result in severe injury or death. It illustrates the harsh realities of survival in a world full of powerful predators and formidable defenses. Triceratops, one of the most recognizable dinosaurs, had a unique set of horns on its head that played a crucial role during battles. These horns, which protruded from above its eyes, likely served multiple purposes. Firstly, they were powerful weapons, enabling the dinosaur to fend off predators and rivals. In combat, Triceratops might have charged at their opponents, using their horns to gash or injure them. Additionally, the large frill at the back of their heads provided protection. During confrontations with other dinosaurs, especially those of the same species competing for mates or territory, these horns could have been used in a display of strength and intimidation. The sight of such formidable horns would caution rivals while asserting dominance. Fossil evidence suggests that some Triceratops showed signs of battle scars, indicating that they engaged in combat frequently. The structure of their horns and skull was designed not just for offensive action, but also for absorbing the impact during fights. This combination of offensive and defensive adaptations made Triceratops a formidable creature during its time, effectively using its horns to survive in a world filled with danger. Overall, their horns were essential tools for protection and aggression, helping them navigate the challenges of their environment. The Pachycephalosaurus is often recognized for its thickened skull, which gives it a unique place among dinosaurs. This creature was primarily herbivorous and roamed during the late Cretaceous period. Its head, resembling a dome, was not just for show. Researchers believe it may have used its skull for headbutting, similar to some modern-day animals like certain types of sheep. This behavior could have been part of social interactions or competition among males for mates or territory. While Pachycephalosaurus is the most famous for its skull structure, it isn't the only dinosaur with robust cranial features. Other dinosaurs, including the ceratopsians, like Triceratops, had large frills and horns that may have served similar functions in physical confrontations, protecting their heads during clashes with rivals. However, rather than shattering bones, the combat scenarios would likely involve pushing, shoving, or defending against predators. While Pachycephalosaurus certainly had the capability to deliver powerful impacts with its skull, the idea of it or other dinosaurs shattering bones in a dramatic fashion isn't entirely accurate. Instead, these adaptations likely played roles in social behaviors and competitive displays. The idea of cloning dinosaurs has captured our imagination, but the reality is far more complex. Dinosaur DNA, which has been preserved in fossils, is incredibly old, millions of years past. DNA is a fragile molecule that degrades over time, especially under environmental conditions like heat and moisture. While some scientists believe that fragments of ancient DNA might exist, the chances of finding intact genetic material from dinosaurs are exceedingly slim. Even if we could retrieve usable DNA, cloning involves several intricate steps, none of which are straightforward. For example, scientists need a complete DNA sequence to create a functioning organism. In the case of dinosaurs, we don't have enough complete information to recreate their genomes. Additionally, we would require a closely related species to act as a host for the cloning process. Today's birds are the closest living relatives of dinosaurs, but they have evolved vastly different traits through time. Science today is advancing in genetic technologies, and there are ongoing discussions about de-extinction projects for more recently extinct species. However, the processes and ethical considerations surrounding those efforts differ significantly from what would be required to bring dinosaurs back to life. The challenge of cloning dinosaurs remains more in the realm of science fiction than near-future possibility. As of now, what we can do is study fossils and gather insights about these magnificent creatures from the past, while understanding that recreating them is likely beyond our current scientific reach. The notion of bringing a dinosaur back to life is a captivating one, often portrayed in movies and literature. However, the reality is much more complex. Dinosaurs lived millions of years ago, and their remains are mostly found as fossils. These fossils contain bone structures and sometimes traces of skin or feathers, but not viable DNA, the genetic blueprint crucial for cloning. While it's true that scientists have made remarkable advances in genetics, including the ability to sequence and manipulate DNA, retrieving intact DNA from dinosaurs is currently beyond our reach. DNA breaks down over time, and after millions of years, traces might be too fragmented for successful reconstruction. Even if fragments could be obtained, piecing them back together would be akin to solving a puzzle with many missing pieces. There's ongoing research in the field of genetic engineering, leading to exciting possibilities like de-extinction. Scientists are studying species that have close genetic ties to dinosaurs, such as birds, seeking to understand their genetics. By altering the DNA of modern birds, researchers hope to recreate traits reminiscent of their dinosaur ancestors. However, this process wouldn't bring back an actual dinosaur, but would rather create a new species inspired by ancient life. In addition, there are significant ethical and ecological considerations. Introducing a resurrected creature into today's world could disrupt existing ecosystems, leading to unforeseen consequences. Thus, while the technology to locally revive dinosaur-like traits exists, the dream of resurrecting dinosaurs as they once roamed the Earth remains firmly in the realm of science fiction for now. Resurrecting prehistoric species, often called de-extinction, presents several significant challenges that blend science, ethics, and environmental considerations. Firstly, one of the largest technical hurdles is obtaining viable genetic material. Many ancient species left only fragments of their DNA, primarily due to the passage of time and the conditions in which their remains were preserved. Imagine trying to reconstruct a jigsaw puzzle where most of the pieces are missing or damaged. This is similar to the task scientists face. Additionally, even if a complete DNA sequence is obtained, bringing a species back to life requires a compatible living cell to serve as a host for that genetic material. This process typically involves inserting prehistoric DNA into the egg cells of a closely related modern species. However, genetic material can behave unpredictably when combined, raising concerns about the resulting organism's health and viability. The environment is another significant factor. Prehistoric species evolved in ecosystems that have changed drastically since their extinction. For example, a creature like the woolly mammoth roamed landscapes now altered by climate change and human activity. Introducing such species back into contemporary environments may disrupt existing ecosystems, leading to unforeseen consequences for both new and existing wildlife. Ethical considerations add another layer of complexity to the endeavor. Questions arise about our responsibility to resurrect species that have long been gone and whether we should prioritize conservation for endangered species instead. With limited resources, debates continue around whether efforts are better spent protecting existing biodiversity rather than reviving extinct organisms. Lastly, there is the issue of public and governmental support. The idea of bringing back extinct species can evoke fascination, but it can also spark fear or concern over the implications. Ensuring that society understands and supports such endeavors is essential for any serious attempt at de-extinction to be successful. Overall, the challenges of resurrecting prehistoric species lie not only in the realm of science, but also in the socio-political landscape, requiring collaboration across multiple disciplines to navigate the intricate path forward. The idea of cloning a dinosaur brings up fascinating questions about biology and immunity. If a dinosaur were to be successfully cloned from preserved DNA, it could potentially carry ancient pathogens, disease-causing organisms like bacteria or viruses that existed during its time. These pathogens could indeed pose risks to modern animals, including humans, especially if those species have never been exposed to these ancient diseases and lack any natural defenses against them. Pathogens evolve over time alongside their hosts, meaning the diseases that dinosaurs might have experienced could be vastly different from what we encounter today. Modern animals and humans have built immune systems tailored to contemporary diseases, which have been shaped by millennia of coevolution. Thus, if these ancient pathogens were to re-emerge, they could trigger unexpected and potentially dangerous health problems. Moreover, the reintroduction of such diseases could disrupt ecosystems, affecting food chains and the balance of life as we know it. If the cloned dinosaur interacts with today's environment, the consequences could be unpredictable, creating a scenario where ancient viruses or bacteria collide with modern biology. In this light, cloning a dinosaur might not only be a scientific challenge, but also a significant ecological risk. It highlights the delicate balance of ecosystems and the importance of understanding both past and present biology. Imagine a world where a cloned T-Rex roams the landscape. This magnificent dinosaur, once a ruler of its time, would be awe-inspiring and terrifying in equal measures. Cloned from ancient DNA, this creature would share physical features with its prehistoric counterparts, including those powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth and formidable legs built for running. In today's environment, a T-Rex would find itself in a vastly different world. Its habitat would have changed from dense forests or open plains to urban areas, farmland, and national parks. With no natural predators and a vast expanse of land to explore, its behavior would reflect a mixture of instinct and adaptation. Food sources would be a major consideration. While it might naturally hunt large herbivores, the populations of animals it would encounter today are different. Deer and cattle could become potential prey, but the challenge of locating these animals in a dynamically populated landscape would be significant. Moreover, the presence of humans would add an unpredictable element to its behavior. Domesticated animals could be viewed as easy targets, leading to potential conflicts with humans trying to manage their livestock. Socially, T-Rex would likely behave as a solitary creature, as there's evidence that many dinosaurs were not pack hunters. However, it might adapt by learning to coexist or avoid human settlements. Its instincts would guide it to establish a territory, but the boundaries of that territory could be influenced by human structures and activities. Interactions with people would raise many questions. Initially, fascination would likely lead to attempts at observation and study, but as the reality of having a large predator in proximity sets in, fears would emerge. Overall, a cloned T-Rex in the modern world would embody both the ancient and the contemporary, forcing humanity to rethink our relationship with nature and the responsibilities that come with recreating extinct species. It would be a reminder of the past and a catalyst for navigating the complexities of today's ecological landscape. Modern-day gravity would affect cloned dinosaurs in the same way it affects all living beings on Earth. Gravity is a fundamental force that acts on all matter, pulling everything toward the center of our planet. This would mean that a cloned dinosaur, regardless of its origin, would experience the same gravitational pull as humans, trees, and even the buildings around us. However, the size and weight of these dinosaurs, depending on their species, could introduce interesting dynamics. For example, larger dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus rex would have massive bodies and would need strong bones and muscles to support their weight under our gravity. If a dinosaur's body structure were not perfectly adapted to cope with Earth's gravity, it might struggle to move effectively or face other challenges, like bone stress. Additionally, the environment surrounding these cloned dinosaurs would also play a crucial role. For instance, if they lived in a habitat that is vastly different from their original ecosystem, factors such as terrain and food resources would influence their behavior, movement, and overall health. While gravity itself wouldn't treat cloned dinosaurs any differently than other creatures, the implications of their size, biological adaptations, and environmental context would shape their experiences in significant ways. The idea of creating a hybrid dinosaur through DNA splicing is an exciting concept often seen in science fiction. However, in reality, the task is incredibly complex and presents numerous challenges. First, we must consider that dinosaurs went extinct around 65 million years ago, meaning that their original DNA is either completely degraded or completely absent. The DNA we have is typically from fossilized remains which deteriorate over time, making it very difficult to retrieve usable genetic material. Even if we were to find some intact dinosaur DNA, the next challenge involves how to combine it with the DNA of a living species. Scientists have successfully spliced DNA between related species in modern biology, typically within the same family or genus, which means their genetic material is more similar. However, dinosaurs are more distantly related to today's birds and reptiles, meaning the genetic gaps are much wider. Additionally, there's the issue of developmental biology. Just having the right DNA is not enough. That DNA needs to be expressed in specific ways during the growth and development of an embryo. Current methods, like using stem cells, are promising but far from fully understood, particularly across such vast evolutionary divides. So, while the popular imagination might suggest a creature emerging from the blending of different species, the scientific reality underscores how we are still far from creating a hybrid dinosaur through DNA splicing. This exploration of ancient life forms and genetic possibilities remains firmly in the realm of theoretical discussion, inspiring future research rather than immediate realization. The idea of a real Jurassic Park, where dinosaurs walk the earth once more, conjures images of wonder, but also potential mayhem. First, consider how dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. Their ecosystems were vastly different from our own. If these creatures were brought back to life, they would require environments suitable for their size, behavior, and dietary needs, something that our modern world may not be able to provide adequately. Imagining dinosaurs roaming free raises safety concerns for humans. Large carnivorous dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex would see people as potential food sources. Even smaller dinosaurs might behave unpredictably. Their instincts would not account for human civilization, leading to interactions that could be disastrous. Then there's the challenge of biosecurity. Dinosaurs would be susceptible to today's diseases, and in turn, they could introduce new pathogens into our ecosystems, threatening both wildlife and humans. Such a scenario could disrupt existing food chains and lead to unforeseen consequences. Moreover, think about the ethical implications. How would we manage and care for these ancient beasts? It would require vast resources and meticulous planning. Capturing and containing creatures that once ruled the earth is no small task. If they were not adequately contained, a single escape could lead to chaos, impacting local wildlife, agriculture, and human populations. Lastly, consider the public's reaction. Just because we can bring back dinosaurs doesn't mean we should. The allure of ancient wonders can easily give way to fear and tension. Overall, while the concept of a living Jurassic Park may seem thrilling, the real-world implications would likely result in a disaster far beyond what we could anticipate. The idea of using bird DNA to reverse engineer a dinosaur taps into our understanding of evolution and genetics. Birds are considered the modern-day descendants of dinosaurs, specifically theropods, which means they share a common ancestor. This connection raises intriguing possibilities about how we might explore the traits of dinosaurs by studying birds. However, there are significant challenges in this endeavor. First, DNA degrades over time, and dinosaur DNA, which is millions of years old, is likely too damaged to retrieve intact. Even if we were to find some remnants of dinosaur DNA, piecing it together accurately would be extremely difficult. This is because we have yet to discover a complete and well-preserved dinosaur genome. Scientists often look at specific traits in modern birds, such as feathers, bones, and behaviors, as clues to understand their dinosaur ancestors. This study is more about uncovering the evolutionary story rather than constructing an actual dinosaur from scratch. By comparing the genomes of birds with what we know about dinosaurs, researchers can make educated guesses about how certain features evolved. While the genetic link between birds and dinosaurs is real, the practical application of using bird DNA to reverse engineer a dinosaur presents many obstacles. The focus tends to be on understanding evolutionary pathways rather than resurrecting ancient species. The process of piecing together our past is more about filling in the gaps of history and less about bringing extinct creatures back to life. If we could bring dinosaurs back to life, one of the most dangerous candidates would likely be the Tyrannosaurus rex. This dinosaur was not only massive, but also one of the top predators of its time. With a powerful bite capable of crushing bone, it had sharp teeth that could slice through flesh with ease. Imagine a creature that could grow to the size of a small bus, racing towards you at high speeds, driven by the instincts of a carnivore. The T-Rex had keen senses, including excellent vision and a strong sense of smell, making it an effective hunter. It likely ambushed its prey using stealth, which means it could be incredibly dangerous even if we were aware of its presence. With its size and strength, not only would it pose a threat to humans, but it could also dominate and disrupt ecosystems, possibly leading to the extinction of other species. But the dangers don't stop there. Other dinosaurs like the velociraptor are also incredibly menacing due to their intelligence and pack-hunting tactics. Imagine coordinated attacks from a group of agile, feathered hunters capable of outsmarting their prey. This combination of speed, cleverness, and teamwork could spell trouble for anyone caught off guard. Ultimately, reviving any dinosaur raises serious questions about safety and ethical responsibility. Each species comes with its own set of dangers, and bringing back such formidable creatures would challenge our understanding of wildlife management and ecosystem balance on Earth. When it comes to dinosaur fossils that evoke fear and fascination, one of the most striking is that of a giant theropod known as the T-Rex, or Tyrannosaurus rex. This colossal predator roamed the Earth around 68 to 66 million years ago. Fossils of this dinosaur show not just its enormous size, which could reach over 40 feet in length, but also its menacing teeth, sharp and serrated, that were designed for slicing through flesh. The sheer power of its jaw suggests that a single bite could crush bone. However, another terrifying discovery came to light with the fossilized remains of a dinosaur named Spinosaurus. This creature was unique in its adaptations for life both on land and in water. Fossil evidence indicates it could grow larger than T-Rex, making it one of the biggest carnivorous dinosaurs. Its long, crocodile-like snout and massive sail-like structure on its back give it an alien, almost nightmarish appearance. The combination of its sheer size, potent predatory adaptations, and the suggestion that it might have preyed on large fish, and potentially other dinosaurs, adds to its fearsome reputation. In addition to these well-known giants, there are even more disturbing finds in the fossil record. For instance, fossils of raptor species reveal signs of their predatory behavior, including sharp claws and evidence of pack hunting. Discoveries of fossilized nests containing young dinosaurs show that they sometimes engaged in cannibalism, raising the horror of a predator's life cycle further. These fossils not only tell us about the anatomy and behavior of these ancient creatures, but also paint a picture of a brutal and unforgiving world where the fight for survival was a constant reality. Each discovery adds to our understanding of these magnificent yet terrifying beasts that once ruled the planet. Yes, There have been remarkable discoveries of mummified dinosaurs that still retain traces of flesh. These finds are incredibly rare and provide a unique insight into the biology and lifestyle of these ancient creatures. When we talk about such mummification, it's not like the mummies of humans we're familiar with. Instead, these dinosaurs show partially preserved skin, muscles, and sometimes even feathers. One of the most notable examples is a dinosaur called the Dakota, discovered in North America. This hadrosaur, or duck-billed dinosaur, was found with skin impressions and even soft tissue, allowing scientists to study the textures and conditions of its surface. The preservation occurs under special conditions, often in environments that are rich in fine sediment and lacking oxygen, which slows down decay. These mummified remains challenge our understanding of fossilization. Usually, we think of fossils as hard bones and teeth that survive through millions of years. But mummified dinosaurs show that under certain circumstances, soft tissues can also be preserved, offering invaluable clues about their color, behavior, and how they interacted with their environment. Such discoveries continue to reshape our understanding of the past, revealing not just the structure of these magnificent animals, but hints of their living reality in ancient ecosystems. Scientists remain excited about what these findings can teach us as they delve deeper into the study of these unusual fossilized remains. One of the most remarkable discoveries in paleontology is the finding of an incredibly well-preserved dinosaur fossil known as the Latenivernatrix, a theropod dinosaur. This fossil is significant because it reveals details about the appearance, movement, and even some behaviors of dinosaurs that were previously unknown. What sets this fossil apart is its exceptional level of preservation, which includes intact bones, skin impressions, and even traces of feathers. The fossil provides a rare glimpse into the life of a dinosaur, allowing scientists to study the structure of its limbs, the texture of its skin, and the arrangement of its facial features. These details help researchers better understand how these creatures lived, moved, and interacted with their environments. The presence of feathers on this fossil is particularly exciting, as it suggests that many dinosaurs might have had feathers, further bridging the gap between dinosaurs and modern birds. This discovery also enriches our understanding of the evolutionary journey, indicating that feathers may have initially evolved for warmth or display before being used for flight. Overall, this well-preserved specimen not only ignites the imagination, but also serves as a crucial piece of the puzzle in the story of life on Earth millions of years ago. While the idea of dinosaurs frozen in ice is captivating, scientists have not found complete specimens preserved in ice as we might imagine. Most dinosaur fossils discovered to date are found in sedimentary rock formations rather than in glacial remains. This is primarily due to the conditions required for fossilization, which are typically not conducive to freezing. However, there have been some remarkable discoveries of dinosaur remains, including feathers, bones, and even skin impressions, preserved in ways that suggest quick burial in mud or sediment that later hardened into rock. In rare instances, certain prehistoric animals like woolly mammoths have been found in permafrost, frozen ground that preserves their bodies remarkably well. This ice preservation typically occurs in much more recent epochs, long after the dinosaurs had become extinct. The truth is that the climate conditions under which dinosaurs lived, primarily the warm Mesozoic era, were not conducive to the formation of ice in which they could be frozen. Thus, while scientists continue to uncover extraordinary fossils and traces of these ancient creatures, discovering dinosaurs in a frozen state remains within the realm of speculation and imagination rather than scientific reality. Yes, some dinosaur fossils have indeed provided a glimpse into what these ancient creatures ate before they became extinct. When dinosaurs died, their remains sometimes included undigested food in their stomachs. Paleontologists who study fossils have discovered fossilized bones and plant matter that were preserved alongside these remains, acting like a time capsule of their last meals. In particular, some hadrosaurs, known for their unique head crests and vast herbivorous diet, have been found with well-preserved plant material in their bellies. By examining these remains, scientists can identify specific types of vegetation that were present during the time of the dinosaurs. This gives us clues about their diets and the ecosystems they inhabited. Additionally, some carnivorous dinosaurs like theropods show signs of having ingested the bones of their prey, which also fossilized over time. For instance, researchers have found stomach contents in certain fossilized theropod specimens that include small animals and bones. Overall, these fascinating discoveries not only shed light on what dinosaurs ate, but also help us understand the environments they lived in and how they interacted with other species around them. One of the most striking pieces of evidence of a dinosaur battle comes from fossils discovered in a site known as the Fighting Dinosaurs in Mongolia. Here, paleontologists unearthed two dinosaur skeletons locked in a fierce struggle. One dinosaur was a small theropod called a velociraptor, and the other was a larger theropod known as a protoceratops. The unique position of the fossils suggests that the two creatures engaged in a deadly encounter. The velociraptor appears to have latched onto the protoceratops, possibly using its sharp claws to grip its prey. Meanwhile, the larger dinosaur seems to have defended itself, indicated by the impression of the velociraptor's claw embedded in its frill or neck area. This fierce interaction provides remarkable insight into the behaviors and predatory strategies of these ancient animals. Additionally, it's important to consider that these fossils reveal not only the physical clash, but also hints about their habitats and their roles within their ecosystems. The presence of bone fractures and bite marks on both specimens supports the idea of a struggle, suggesting that these creatures fought not merely for survival, but also for dominance within their environment. Such discoveries help us imagine the violent realities of life during the age of dinosaurs, where battles for food, territory, and survival were commonplace. Fossils provide an incredible window into the past, capturing snapshots of life and death millions of years ago. There are instances where fossils seem to tell a story of struggle or an unexpected end. One remarkable example is when paleontologists find dinosaur remains in positions suggesting they were in the midst of a fight or fleeing from a danger, indicating a dramatic last moment. One famous discovery involved a group of dinosaurs found in what appears to be a chaotic scene. These fossils show them huddled together, suggesting they might have been caught in a sudden disaster, perhaps a volcanic eruption or flooding. Scientists observe their positioning and the fossilized impressions of their bones, interpreting these as signs of distress or panic during their final moments. However, it's essential to understand that while these fossils might hint at certain behaviors or circumstances, they do not accurately capture feelings like agony in the way we might imagine. The evidence is limited and often open to interpretation, relying heavily on context and comparisons with modern animals. Thus, while some fossils do imply struggle or sudden death, we cannot directly perceive the experience or emotion involved. Paleontology is a fascinating blend of science and storytelling, piecing together clues from the past to understand how these great creatures lived and died. Yes, scientists have discovered dinosaur fossils that show signs of disease and deformities. These findings provide a fascinating glimpse into the lives of these ancient creatures and help us understand how they coped with various health issues. For instance, some fossils exhibit bone infections caused by bacteria, similar to the infections we see in modern animals. One notable example includes a dinosaur that had an abnormal growth in its bones, which suggests it might have suffered from a condition that caused excess bone formation. This could indicate a response to injury or an underlying disease. Additionally, researchers have found fossils with signs of arthritis. This condition, characterized by inflammation of the joints, can cause pain and limit mobility. Such evidence implies that some dinosaurs may have lived with chronic pain or had difficulty moving due to joint issues. Deformities in skulls and teeth have also been documented, hinting at developmental issues. These kinds of findings are crucial as they shine a light on the health challenges dinosaurs faced, much like animals do today. By studying these fossils, scientists gain insights into the biology and environment of dinosaurs, revealing that, just like modern animals, they were susceptible to various health problems. One of the most astonishing discoveries in a dinosaur fossil came when scientists found soft tissue preserved in the bones of a dinosaur that lived millions of years ago. Typically, when an animal dies, its tissues begin to break down, leading to the eventual fossilization of bones and teeth, which creates hard, mineralized remains over time. However, in this particular case, evidence suggested that some of the delicate materials, including blood cells and proteins, managed to survive intact. Imagine opening a time capsule and discovering things that seem too fragile to have lasted so long. This finding challenged our understanding of fossilization. suggesting that under the right conditions, organic materials might preserve for far longer than previously believed. These preserved tissues opened a window into the biology of dinosaurs, allowing scientists to study their proteins and even reconstruct aspects of their appearance and health. Another unexpected revelation was the presence of structures resembling red blood cells, implying that dinosaurs might have shared certain biological traits with modern birds and reptiles. This discovery has led to exciting discussions about dinosaur physiology and how they thrived in their environments, revealing a connection between ancient and contemporary life that was previously unimagined. Each new finding from these fossils not only surprises researchers, but also reshapes our understanding of the distant past. The quest to uncover traces of dinosaur blood within fossils is a fascinating one that has captured the imagination of many. Fossils preserve remains that have long been part of the Earth's history, but finding genuine blood within these remains is exceptionally challenging. When a dinosaur died, its body began to decompose, and most organic materials would have broken down over millions of years. Fossils are primarily composed of minerals that fill the gaps left by decayed tissue. Any original soft tissue, including blood, would typically not endure such vast timescales. However, there have been some remarkable discoveries of well-preserved specimens, particularly in amber or ice, where conditions have kept organic materials intact. Scientists have reported finding proteins and soft tissues in some dinosaur fossils, which led to speculation that traces of blood might also be present. These discoveries raise intriguing possibilities. Still, what researchers usually find are not actual blood cells, but remnants of the materials that once comprised them. While the idea of finding intact dinosaur blood is incredibly appealing, the likelihood diminishes as time passes. Fossils tell us much about dinosaurs and their world, offering clues through their bones and imprints, even if the blood itself remains an elusive dream. Each discovery helps piece together the puzzle of ancient life, but as of now, real dinosaur blood appears to remain just out of reach.